Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful Thursday night, or Wednesday night, rather. Tonight, gonna be talking about the COG shit again. You guys might remember a previous stream I did in this topic, or you might not. I had to take it down, unfortunately, because there was another op pulled while I was on the air. And it's funny. Let me show you exactly what was going on, because I gotta hand it to them. They got a little bit clever. Got a little bit clever. Let's open that up. Okay. Get that right here. Ah, here we go. Okay. So we'll just switch browsers here. Okay. So if you're looking at the screen now, this is an image that I took of a previous stream. Here's two members of the Plate Gang, Hephaestus and Guts. They're going ahead, and there's Guts here, as you can see. It's posting a phone number. It's redacted. And Hephaestus is claiming that's my phone number. And yeah, this is while I was showing this Discord while I was live streaming, because of Discord's new feature where you can change your status update. Now, you might be thinking, oh, so you're upset that you're posting your phone number or whatever. Well, yeah, you could say that. That's all well and good. But the thing is, YouTube isn't really a big fan of doxing, and what will happen is if you leave a dox up on your channel, what the Plate Game will do is they'll just report it. That's what these guys do. And you might be saying, well, that's out of turn to say that. How would you know? Just look at COG's Twitters, both of them right now. I don't think them being suspended after being being active for months right after this event happened was a coincidence. I think they deliberately looked for his tweets. They found out which ones were the worst ones, reported them, and got his account suspended. And it's also curious that after the Plate Gang was looking at my Medium website, or my Medium blog, that suddenly got suspended too. So yeah, you can't leave stuff like that up. Otherwise, they'll take your shit right down. They have no issues reporting people. They think it's fun. And just look at their reaction when Crouton T got his account suspended. Like, completely taken off because he made a video on Edgy Bruin. That should tell you all you need to know. So there's no kind of, ethical code they're following. There's no kind of scruples or anything like that. And guys like Earjuice will associate with these guys because he's in on it. Like, seriously. It's quite obvious. Alright. So, what do we have today? What is this really all about? Because I'm kind of jumping ahead here a little bit. What happened? Okay, so for those of you who watched the stream before that, I covered how there was this video that Earjuice made. Earjuice being a drama channel. He's a guy who likes to make boring, long-winded videos on various subjects that are just not really all that great. And he decided to do one about this person that he said was about Drama Queen. In fact, let me pull that up real quick here. Okay, so he basically, on the 14th... Alright, but before I do that, let me just establish this. Earjuice released the video on the 14th about Drama Queen. He then goes on to... COG then has this huge spurg out. It's funny, people make fun of him. He basically pillories himself. The video about Drama Queen, though, it should be emphasized that all the highs, all the highlights, all the memorable moments from that video are clearly about COG. Now, you might be thinking, well, maybe that was an unintended side effect. Earjuice wouldn't do something like that. I don't think that's the case, because nobody knows who Drama Queen was, and nobody cares who she ever was. Nobody ever cared about her. She would never, ever resonate with people. What would resonate with people, though, is COG getting cheated on and getting cucked. For example, his partner in crime sending him a message saying that he had plans about living with her kids. He was fully invested. And you're just saying, what, really? And Stretch says, yes, 100. And yes, Stretch was involved in the creation of this. Something Earjuice doesn't want to let out, because it's true. Just give me one moment. Let me get that up. So, let's... Okay. And this is something that they don't like talking about. They want you to think that this is this organic thing that naturally happened and that everything's honky-dory. But I asked you just a few questions, and he confirmed here. Pretty much. But you know the info was all correct, because I checked it. For context behind this screenshot, after I did the first stream on COG, about the situation, about how things looked weird, I speculated some people's motives. Some people didn't like some of the directions I speculated into. Some people didn't like some of the things I said. Earjuice was so very desperate to correct the record on this issue that it wasn't ever about COG. There was no foul play. But here is where the truth gets revealed, because he opened his mouth and, like an idiot, he revealed several things. Pretty much. But you know the info was all correct, because I checked it. The plan was to go to him. He came to the stream. The video comes out with the clips. Well, there was a lot of plans and things the three of us planned to do, but it all kind of happened the way it did. Now, remember, there's a lot of talk about what's an op and what's not an op. Really simply, real quick, an op is a plan carried out by multiple people sharing information with one another just in secret to fuck with somebody. Basically, instead of just like making things clear and for no good reason. In fact, instead of just like coming forward and saying, instead of like Earjuice just coming along and saying, yeah, I think Cog's a cuck, I don't like him, I'm gonna make a video to fuck with him. He has to first do it indirectly, because if he just came out and said that, nobody would take Earjuice's side, because Cog before this didn't really have like that much baggage on him. He had a few spurgouts in the past, but he recovered from them. At his current point, he was basically, everyone liked him because he would call out shit and he would get on top of it. Now, I'm not trying to sing the praises of COG or whatever. I think he's a skeptic. He's shit. But at the same time, though, it's very clear that when it comes to the type of people that gravitate towards these things, you can't just maliciously go after somebody. You have to establish this basis for, he provoked it, he egged it on, or he did something shitty. So that warrants this kind of ridicule, mockery, and derision. For something that is supposed to be for the lulz, for fun, there always has to be like a moral reason or moral justification. I mean, as I've been saying before, and people don't like hearing this because it's true, there's never, in this kind of community, no one ever does things just for the lulz. Like, yes, people do things because it's funny, but that's the secondary reason. But there's always either a secondary reason attached to that, or there's a primary reason and the lulz is just a secondary one. Or they don't even find it funny and they force the humor in a worst case scenario. They're not legitimate people. They just do this thing where they make shit up and they go ahead. They're not, I shouldn't say they don't always make shit up, but they are inauthentic. They're not coming to you as a real person would. They're trying to make money. They're trying to get clicks. They're trying to get attention. That's what they're after, and that's what they're into. That's why you have ops going on where you have a three-party plan. And let me just read some more of this. So it was a joint project. I didn't come up with the info by inferring, though. I had sources for everything, and 90% of stuff I had said had a receipt. And I tried to explain what was speculation, example, Warski. Which, by the way, here, this should tell you that Earjuice has no problem with speculation, so long as it's not about people that aren't unacceptable targets. So long as it's people that are acceptable targets. When you cross that line, then he has a problem, and he gets mad at you. Cog explains his opinion over 4 streams and a bunch of tweets, all changing over time. And then answering my question, he says, yup, the video was mine alone. Which that doesn't make sense because we'll see we'll see as we go on. But I discovered the info accidentally with Stretch, accidentally quote unquote, who told Hef, we went to the boyfriend. Stretch has most of the other info. So Stretch had receipts for Drama Queen and Cog and the boyfriend and his. Which, by the way, that should tell you something. Because the thing that there's a few things to take away from this already. Let's go back to that first image I showed. Who's this Hef guy? Wasn't that same Hef guy the guy who got involved with trying to put a dox on my channel? Yeah, it was the same guy. The same guy who tried to get my channel shut down was working with Earjuice the whole time. So this is a reciprocatory attack. This isn't about this is clearly a case of we need to shut this John Kelly guy down. He's going against the grain here. He's not agreeing with us. He's going in this other direction. So that's an issue for these people. On top of this, there's some other stuff related to that, which I'll get into. So Stretch had receipts for Drama Queen and Cog, and the boyfriend had his. Drama Queen and Cogs lined up, confirmed by Cogs FTW stuff. Stretch had gathered some... Again, clunky sentence. Stretch gathered some of the info together, gave it to you, and with your info, you made the video. Where does Hef fit into this? He was laughing the whole time. Stretch has done a whole bunch of streams on the happy hour. The archives are on BitChutes under Red Foreman, so Hef just helped with the planning. Man, we just have a conversation and you see, he tries to wiggle around. He tries to say, no, Hef's not involved, guys. No, Hef totally isn't involved with this. And he tries to like backpedal and walk away from it. But he clearly said that, yeah, Hef was involved with the planning of this. So yeah, this was a 3-man operation. This wasn't a case of just Earjuice decided to make a funny video with some information he put together. He actually went ahead and they wanted to fuck with Cog in a way that was subversive. Stretch has done a whole bunch of streams on the happy hour. The archives are on BitChute under Red Foreman, so Hef just wanted to help with the planning. Man, we just had a conversation and tried to work out what we were going to do. Then it just happened the way it happened. I didn't sit there with some plan. We were going to wait at one point, but the info was getting leaked. But he was the third party mentioned earlier, right? Well, he was the one Stretch told once we know everything. So he came into the fold. Yeah, there you go. So anyone saying that like, oh, this is just a funny video Earjuice made. No, it's not. That's a bullshit. Like, these guys bullshit once they get caught with their pants pulled down. So what else do we have? What else is there? That's some really funny things I found. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a very interesting thing that I found as well. It came from now another thing that I found funny, I should say. Let me pull that up real quick. All right. Another thing I found. Where is it? All right, let's just pull it up and then I'll switch to the right timestamp.
IRL shit going on, but I mean, nothing.
Okay, yeah, this is it. So this is a by Earjuice's own admission. Here he is in the comments. Remember, this is after he comes to my Discord server and tries to correct the record because, there's nothing going on. Him and 7 other of his friends of his decide to go in there and talk about that, which that's totally not suspicious at all. Yo, a few people wanted to hear, H-E-A-R, by the way, not H-E-R-E. A few people wanted to hear the Drama Queen recording it had from July. Most of the Uwe stuff wasn't important or was in part 2 section of lore. This is just Drama Queen chatting about streaming, her channel, her interactions with Cog, and some interesting stuff about Cog. By the way, if you actually listen to this clip of the quote-unquote interview, none of that's actually there what he describes here. Like, we don't know if the interview about Uwe was actually in this call. The only things we can confirm is that the same, some of the audio he used in this call was also used in his Drama Queen quote-unquote lore video. Although, let's call these things what they really are, they're hit pieces. In his Drama Queen hit piece, he did include some of the audio that was included here. But for some reason, one, why isn't he showing the original video where... Give me a second, let me pull that up. Why isn't he showing the full thing with the timestamps like he did in the original video? Which, let me get that real quick. In his video on Drama Queen, Earjuice had shown that... Okay. Let's print this right here. Right here. Now, you might notice a difference, because this audio, the audio that you'll listen, that you can hear in this call that he has, and the audio here does match up. But you notice something. There's something weird here. If you probably figure out already. Here, the time is cropped. That's when the call started. The time that's shown on his desktop browser, which is like at I believe it's 11:25 p.m. Aussie time, or whatever time he has his computer set to, which actually matches this and actually matches the length of time in this video. So yeah, we can say that. So yeah, that is the accurate time there. He doesn't include the time in that the call started and doesn't include the time here. Why is that? That's really weird to me, and I'd like to know more. Also, he doesn't include the full interview, or I should say full phone call. Because again, if you go ahead and listen to this audio here, the one about Drama Queen recording with Ear Juice, blah, 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 talking about streaming and COG 29th July 2019, you listen to it. Nothing about Uwe. Oh, there's like maybe a bit about Uwe at the very end, but it's not a question. It's not like any of the audio that he used in his Uwe series. That's separate. That's cut off from this, and I'm not sure what the objective is in not including that. It could be part of a haha. See, it's actually there. I told you so. And then he expects his critics to jump to an assumption and then say something stupid, and then he call him out for it. But if he does, but it doesn't matter because it just doesn't show whatever point he's trying to make here by releasing this. But I did catch something interesting for all those saying, "Oh, well, there's no way. It's impossible that Ear Juice had any intention to fuck with COG in July. That there's no way that happened. Ear Juice and COG were friends before COG turned on Ear Juice." But just listen to this here. We'll take a listen to that.
Thought about making a video out of it, almost. Just like a cynical, what's going on here, memology mirror or something. Just like, make it heavily biased to seem like something was happening. That's definitely
Oh my
not.
God.
No, it's not. But I just don't think COG would take it the right way. I don't know.
COG.
I've been funny with him before, and he's gone off. I was like, dude, no, I'm only joking.
There's times that he can take a joke and criticism, and then there's times I don't know. Like he takes it a little personally.
Yeah.
Even with me, like he's been that way with me before.
Yeah, I'd be like, would I put that out? Because he's gonna. It could end up as Ear Juices of this stream or something. It's like, oh yeah. God damn it! Now I gotta go in there and get my ass open.
Okay, I see some audio complaints in the chat. I will fix that right away. Give me one moment. Let's fix that, and then we'll replay that clip from the beginning. Okay. That should do it. Let me just refresh this, and you can hear it in its full glory.
Some IRL shit going on, but
I don't want to pick on COG
nothing.
Yeah. I thought about making a video out of it, almost. Just like a cynical, what's going on here, memology mirror or something. Just like, make it heavily biased to seem like something was happening. That's definitely
Oh my God.
No, it's not. But I just don't think COG would take it the right way. I don't know.
COG.
I've been funny with him before, and he's gone off. I was like, dude, no, I'm only joking.
There's times that he can take a joke and criticism, and then there's times I don't know. Like he takes it a little personally.
Yeah.
Even with me, like he's been that way with me before.
Yeah, I'd be like, would I put that out? Because he's gonna. It could end up as Ear Juices of this stream or something. It's like, oh
yeah.
God damn it! Now I gotta go in there and get my ass open because COG has to be right at the end of every stream. COG has to be right on every single little point, and he's gonna dig and dig deep.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay. I see some people in the chat saying that they're not able to hear something. Let me go ahead and see about that. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay. So, while I get that fixed, in the meantime, what was it? Right. So, if for those who are listening to the very end of this, you can stop. You can stop at about like it's towards the end for what you were just listening to. Ear Juice is talking about the possibility of making a video on the very subject that he would eventually do in October. Like he was saying, I was thinking about making a funny memology video about where we'd show did COG send a dick pic to Drama Queen. And then he says, but I'm not going to do that because then COG would put me on a live stream. We have to talk about it. And COG, and then they proceed to go ahead and they shit on him. They go ahead and they mock and they ridicule the guy because, again, it's apparently, but remember, guys, he didn't have any intentions of going ahead and making a video on cock. No siree. That was not the case at all. That's the claim that Earjuice is standing by, but the audio shows something different. Also, I can see that Earjuice has cleverly changed the title. He's totally not mad. He's totally not obsessed with this. No, I'm not making a deal like that. It's very evident that you want to do an interview with me because you need that as part of your hit piece or whatever. So, no. It's that simple. In the meantime, what I'd like to know is why not just release the whole thing in the first place? Why release it in bits or chunks? Why go ahead and try to pretend that, oh, well, I just wanted to release part of it? And why lie in the description about it? You can just go ahead and edit this. It's already we already saw on the video footage before this exactly what it said. So, okay. Also, I just got tipped off that it was very low at first, and that the second time it was better. But we can go ahead and fix that. We'll go ahead and we'll play that for you guys one more time, since you guys took an issue with that. So let's just up this a little bit, and we'll boost this a little bit more. And all right, let's refresh this page.
Some IRL shit going on, but
I don't want to
mean,
pick on cock because
nothing.
I thought about making a video out of it, almost just like a cynical, what's going on here, memology mirror or something. Just make it heavily biased to seem like something was happening, but it's definitely
Oh my
not. And I know
god.
it's not. But I just don't think Cog would take it the right way. I don't know.
Cog.
I've been funny with him before, and he's gone off. And I was like, dude, no, I'm only joking.
There's times that he can take a joke and criticism, and then there's times, I don't know. He takes it a little personally.
Yeah.
Even with me. He's been that way with me before.
Yeah. I'd be like, would I put that out? Because it could end up as ear juices of this stream or something. It's like, oh,
yeah.
God damn it. Now I got to go in there and get my ass teared open. Because Cog has to be right. At the end of every stream, Cog has to be right on every single little point. And he's going to dig. And dig deep.
Yeah. He, I mean, and hell, I've been around Cog. I've known Cog for over 2 years. And I mean, he knows more about me than most people online. I think he knows more about me than anybody.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so again, we do definitely have intent that Earjuice would fuck with Cog back in July. Did he plan this all the way from then? Unconfirmed. We don't know that for sure. It's possible though. But at what point did this and there's also some other things that are curious about this. Okay, so a big question on my mind had been basically why didn't there's also another thing that's really curious about this. Let's go back to this one. We're going to play a little bit from here. Play right from the beginning, actually.
God damn it. God damn it, indeed. I've been sitting at my computer for the last few hours just wondering what I was going to do. Because it was sort of coming to 0 hour. Other people now have this information. It's going to come out soon. I would say that it may blow up. And a lot of other information is probably going to come out because of this. But the train's coming. I mean, it's already left the station and it's on its way. So I might as well put out what I know, what I've pieced together, and present all the facts as I know them. And that is simply that. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, except for maybe Drama Queen, because I can't say if what I'm going to show is true, I can't say I condone that behavior and what she's potentially been up to, playing with the emotions of
Okay, so there is Ear Juice right there. He's giving a no bully disclaimer. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or emotions. But then that brings up a really good question. Why didn't he go to COG? Why did he censor out everyone's names who was involved with the drama queen shit except COG's? COG's name was left in the open to the public to consume. There's all the highlights are about COG. Here's where they're laughing about him going over DMs with COG himself there. The only person whose face is shown in the stream is COG's face right here. Which I'm just gonna say this again. I don't know why he ever decided to do a face reveal. That's just retarded. But all the same, yeah, it's not about drama queen, is it? Like there's nothing to gain from that. There's no benefit from that. But there is benefit though. If you go back to this one, there is benefit in making fun of an e-celeb like COG. You can make merchandise and sell it. Now, I don't know if, and you could even make that your mission statement. Let's go ahead over there. Hashtag drama for profit. Now, the thing about this is that you might be thinking, well, what's wrong with that? Guys like Keemstar have existed for years. There really shouldn't be a problem with people. And TMZ has existed, so has Gawker, so has all these other tabloid things. It's gossipy, yeah, but it's entertainment. What's the harm? The issue with guys like this, and the reason why I should be suspect of anything these guys say, is because if your main motivation for doing this is to generate drama, is to make money off of drama, when there's none existing, you're going to go ahead and you're going to manufacture it to get in some cash. That's exactly how this works. That's how these people operate, and this is how they have been operating for quite some time. It's like with Ralph. The reason why Ralph jumped in on this, he got involved by going ahead and spotlighting this video, ensuring that would be all about this, the COG guy, and benefiting from these ops, is because that's how Ralph comes back. Before this, Ralph was at such a low point, he was making Dreamcast. He was streaming Dreamcast games in order to keep his dying channel alive. Yeah, sure, he came back. Yeah, sure, he was getting like 1,000 or so viewers, maybe 2,000. But I remember back when he was big, back when he was in his Daddy Medicare's good graces. I remember back then, he was getting like, what was it, 5,000 average per stream? Pretty big numbers. I think they grew up to like 7,000 per stream. So in order for Ralph to jump back, of course he's going to go ahead, find another e-slip, and shit on him, and go ahead and use that to gain back some momentum. And I'm certain that he did this back when, after his stint after punching a police officer and coming back, he had to come back somehow, so he chose this. So first he went after Baked Alaska because he was just there and he had to get his channel up. His boring, lifeless channel that has no flavor in it and is only alive because because he sucks people's cocks off and gets them on his channel, so that way he can put them on the platform there. And the other time he did this was with Sargon. He went after Sargon. He made a big stink about how Sargon wouldn't go on his show, and he got boosted up that way. That's how this game works. And further, there's another point about the call that Earjuice had with Drama Queen. Okay, let's give Earjuice the most charitable interpretation here. The most charitable interpretation being that he did get Drama Queen's permission to record the entire conversation, all of it, even before the interview, the meat and potatoes, was actually recorded. Let's assume that, because it's possible that happened. However, he chose to save that for months and months and months, only to use it as part of a hit piece once it became convenient. So the moral of the story is, don't go into a call with Earjuice, because he will record you and he will use it against you eventually. That's how that works. And there's also some other what other tidbits and highlights can I show? A few other points I want to get out there before wrapping things up. Let's see. Okay. All right. Oh yeah. So there's also this other thing. Oh yeah, I kind of glossed over this one question. Why didn't Earjuice just tell Cock? Well, I did get an answer out of. There's apparently a couple of issues with that. Let's see. Right here. So this was sometime later in Discord after the first exchange you saw. I asked him, so why didn't you contact Cog about the video you released about Drama Queen that features him before publishing it? Yeah, so I wanted to, but it was Stretch's DMs that had the info relating to him. So it was his call, not Earjuice's call, Stretch's call, because Cog was potentially going to be pissed at him. And then he added, I think he added this part in here, but it doesn't matter either way. Can you please, goes on here, something about unmuting Stretch. No, I didn't, because I want him to answer first. DMs between Stretch and Cog, and Drama Queen Stretch, referring to which DMs in particular. We didn't know anything we didn't know anything without Stretch, so you may want to talk to him. It's my fault for not going back and uncensoring the DMs before putting them out. Just a time thing. Yeah, so basically, if it means getting on that wagon real quick, then yeah, just go ahead and throw it out there. I don't understand how those DMs keep you from telling a guy that's going to find out anyway because you're doing a video, about a girl you think is scum that cheated on him. In other words, stop bullshitting me. What's the real reason here? I knew about Chet via dispatch. Can you please explain? I might be missing something. It was his call. How is it his call when it's your video to publish? It would fuck Streech. I nearly did. A few times, but if we did, Cog would be pulling us both into a VC and he not have been happy. Stretch would have been fucked off because it was his call and I'm not going to do that to him. Okay, so what happens when I ask Stretch about this shit? What does Stretch tell me? Because Stretch doesn't give me a consistent story here and it's really weird. Why would Cog being mad or fucked off with you be an issue? It'd be an issue for Earjuice not wanting to start drama between two separate parties. He's not a bad dude. You have this all wrong. Now, I think I got this exactly right. You guys didn't tell Cog because he was the target here. That's exactly it. That's what I think anyway. I mean, maybe some other evidence would come to light. I mean, I was shown this. What was it? I think it was one of them did show me these DMs as like proof of otherwise. Basically, this is Earjuice and Stretch in DMs. Yep, basically. I think we need to go to Cog. I mean, he did always say to go to him. I guess he has the right to know. My guess is that he worked this all out months ago and killed it, but who knows? Yeah, like another thing about this whole controversy with Drama Queen, this issue was already settled. She already fucked off from all these communities. So what's the point in making a video about her showing like what an emotional bitch she is? Again, this explanation here doesn't add up at all. Like, I'd have far more respect if this guy just said, you know what, I want to fuck with Cog. I want to call Cog a cuck 10 million times. I'm just going to make a video shitting on him. Fair enough. Go ahead. Go at it. But no, he has to do this subversive here's the reason I want you to think I'm releasing the video, but the real reason is, I just want to fuck with Cog. Only show him stuff that relates to him and just tell the rest without names. No, if anyone goes to Cog, it needs to be me. Oh yeah, I'm the only one who knew. Yep. He is he's in the US. He's in the US. When he gets back, I'll talk to him. Which also brings us another thing. Why did they release this while he was still in the US? What changed about this? Why didn't they go ahead and wait till he came back from the US so he could respond properly or whatever? It doesn't add up. The stories don't make sense. And like this idea that and again, Stretch says he doesn't care. It was about the problem that would create between Cog and Earjuice for some reason. So no, I don't believe either of these two on this shit. They're both lying. They're both not being candid or forward with this stuff. And again, for these people who care, who claim to care about like people emotionally manipulating one another, we also have. Let's see here. Let's just check something real quick. We also have. Again, I remind you, as soon as this start going down, you also have the Plate Gang coming in. And you have Negro Joe going ahead and posting alleged doxes of alleged family members. Gee, isn't that a coinkydink? It's like all these people are connected. This is absolutely amazing. Okay. So that I think there's also another few things to point out. Let's see. Cover that. Okay, I think that's it for tonight. I don't know if I'll go back to this yet. Someone's asking if I checked the chat. Yeah, I see the chat. There's a bunch of Plate Gang members in there raiding it. I noticed that. That's fine. Aside from that, if what you say is true, then confront Earjuice face to face because he will look like the Spurg and not you. Stop acting like a Christian LARPer. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll give Earjuice about 5 minutes, and if he wants on, he can come on here. So, Earjuice knows how to contact me. If he wants on, he can come on and show how I'm totally mistaken. And I'll say this. If Earjuice can show me how I'm mistaken about all this shit, then yeah, I could own up to it. But he better come prepared with more than just a bunch of bullshit. Okay. Not getting any contact from Earjuice. Okay, I see a member's joined by the name of Earjuice, but I don't know if that's him. Again, you're going to have to, Earjuice, you're going to have to contact me if you want on the show. Because you got a bunch of people here saying to come on. You got about 4 minutes left before I close shop. Okay, Earjuice is complaining he's been banned. Well, I mean, all right, if that's the, all right, let me see. Give me a sec. Okay, your ban's been revoked. All right, you can come in. Okay, Earjuice, if you're in the server, just join the pub, and I'll drag you in. No, I'm not going to go ahead and let a sock account in. Your main account has been unbanned, so use your main account. We're not playing this game of, oh, I'm going to send in one of your guys in there. Still waiting. Okay. Earjuice, join pub, please. Hello.
Hey, man.
Hey, so I'm not really following what's the issue with what you're having here with what I'm saying about you.
Yeah, because well, and I'm gonna be respectful to you too. So just so you know, I'm not Like you're putting me in with Plate and all these other people. I'm my own person, and it's like Hef, he has his own agency as well. So
I mean, yeah, we can all respect individuality and agency, and I know it's an issue where people try to remove that, and then they like do some dishonest argumentation for it. But at the same time, the reverse is also true. When people act in a group, you can't just say that they're not working together at that point. Like you have worked with people that are in this Plate Gang group.
oh well, Hef's great. I love talking to Hef, and there's a few other Plate Gang members. They do some gay shit, and I don't. I disavow it. They put doxers in my Discord all the time, and I beat them out for it. They're probably doing it right now because I'm saying this. So,
Yeah,
but
I could.
anyway, yeah, dude, those. I mean, we did like Hef was like, ah, we should just fuck with them, and then yeah, I did start sending you some other messages and that about Chetnik being a AI bot and all of that sort of stuff. That's fine, but all the answers that you've shown on stream, that's all truthful, and what Stretch has said is all truthful. Like as I've been trying to tell you, like if you wanted to come and see me, like I would have sent you the audio conversations and everything of us beforehand.
Well, my first question is like when you released that audio recording, like I didn't ask you to do that. You just decided to opt and do it.
Yeah, a few people asked, so I thought I would. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like the thing that baffled there's a couple things weird with the audio recording. Like I said, in the video with Drama Queen, you have a part of that where you show the timestamps. And am I mistaken in saying that you record? That's what we have in this. It's hard to keep track of videos this way. The last video you released on the subject, where it was the call between you and her. That was the very beginning of the call, correct?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So in that video that I uploaded, I think I cut out a minute or two because I was over on Kitty's stream just talking shit with that guy as part of because I'm with Bitwave and we do like to troll Kitty, and he sort of goes around in circles. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
not.
just that cut out, and then the U-Way stuff at the end. The U-Way stuff, really, why it was cut out is because Drama Queen was actually being quite speculative about what was going on and what she said about U-Way, and I didn't feel it was right to include it. So there would have had to been parts that I would have just chopped out, just because it wasn't fair on U-Way. I wouldn't be able to stand by the message. Most of the recording or most of the stuff that she said about U-Way that I was happy to include is all in the part 2 law video with U-Way or about U-Way.
Okay, so like, did Drama Queen agree to the whole call being recorded?
Oh yeah, of course, because she knew. I mean, I have never spoken to her before. Like you hear that in the recording. I say, oh, we've never spoken before. Blah blah blah. So she knew that it was part of an interview because I had gone to her, Elizabeth Thornhart, and Trez Silverwolf as part of getting female voices into the UA Law video, and then this other BDSM test stuff, which they knew about, which I was sort of going into as part of his sort of like a character breakdown. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that part. Like that was the second part I could get into. Like after that, like it was a certain point in the second one, I was like, I just don't care. The stuff about him being a pedo, like that's just pretty creepy.
Yeah, but have you actually looked at that? Because the law video, and I'd just like to point this out, and this is where COG has really been muddying the waters with the whole UA thing, because he's getting pissed off that people are actually sending out olive branches to UA and he's sort of apologizing for the stuff he did. It's got nothing to really to do with the stuff with the minors and that. It was, yes, he was trying to make jokes with minors and sex sandwiches and stuff. It was bad, it looked creepy, but he's not a pedo or anything, and that's not what the law videos are about. The law videos are about him playing car soccer with a bunch of people and absolutely spurging out from it and then disassociating with people because of it. People then criticized him, and over a week, he then disassociated with those people. That was the core issue with UA. So COG making those tweets and then rolling it back in Discord, but not publicly, but privately in his Discord saying, oh, no, well, UA's not really a pedo. It's really disingenuous stuff. And I feel sorry for you, Way, because then you get and other people that now think that that whole law issue and the whole UA drama debacle is over that sort of thing when it wasn't.
Well, I kind of gathered the gist of what was going on there. Like, I get that, like, Discord groups have, like, that one guy who's just, like, weird, creepy, and kind of, like, self-absorbed in some way. There was also...
Well, that's not UA though. UA is like is a really nice person, and I mean, but he fucked up. He was new to the internet. He didn't understand what, that disassociating with people and just not dealing with problems it was going to blow up into a drama, and he burned himself down in a dumpster fire. The only reason why I made lore videos about it, kind of like why I'm making a lore video about you at the moment, is just because it's interesting to me. I don't care, like the FTW crowd and a few of Cog's crowd and the Happy Hour people. They really like, they're finding you interesting as well. So they're the only people that will really watch that video, and that's fine. I'm not monetized. It's not, I don't do it because of that. I do it because I find something interesting, and I'll sort of pull out the thread and see what sort of comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's, like, so many confused... But the thing about, like, the COG video in particular, like, if you're... Like, if you're gonna make a video on me, like, I'm not gonna tell people not to make videos on me. That's retarded. People have done it before, so... But when it comes to, like, the...
Yeah, I've seen them.
Okay, so here's the thing I don't like about the COG shit. To me, like, the drama queen shit, like, the drama queen shit is just, like, I'm listening to this, and it's like, the first thing I hear about this was that basically Ralph was just taking advantage of this again because the guy needs to bounce back up, because that guy is just...
Oh, of course, yeah. Like, and it's not like we didn't see the potential of that as well. Yeah, that this could possibly go into, was going to cause a shitstorm. I mean, Cog really could have downplayed this really well when he first came onto the FTW stream to talk about it. And you'll see that in my video, like, once it all sort of, our heads were spinning, we had big information, we were planning to go to Cog, then Hef is like, oh, I'm just going to put the pictures in the stream submissions and not safe for work for FTW, we're going to go on the show. And Normie sort of knew by that time because I was getting him to look at the video. So it all just kind of happened. Then Cog comes onto the stream and he talks about it, confirms the whole video. So it's sort of like, oh, well, we'll just post the video at this point because Cog is talking. He's talking for half of that video, pretty much confirming what the first half says. So, I mean, I get the criticisms because I've had a lot of people question my intentions over the last week. With, like covering up Stretch's DMs with not covering his name. I get that. I should have gone back through that because I say it in the video. I say, oh, he wanted me to uncover them, but I just, it was a time thing. It was going to take another hour. Yes, I should have done it. It was dumb. As far as covering up Chetnik's name and not releasing his name, but knowing that it was coming out, that was just him asking me to do it. And I said yes. Because if an internet friend asks me to do something and says, please don't do this, or please don't release this, this, and this, I'll just try. And I'll be like, okay, man, well, the info is going to come out anyway, but I'll try my best, and that's what I did. So, yeah.
Okay, so just a timeline thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you released to my understanding, because you said something that confused me there, and it could just be me. You released the first iteration of the video, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that was public?
Oh, no, that was unlisted. Yeah, so no one really saw that.
Okay.
Like 2 or 3 people. Yeah.
Okay, so that was
Hef, DJ D, I think I grabbed at one point just to have a look because I knew he wouldn't share it, and then I gave him I shared the link in a VC, like a shared screen, so it was harder for him to get. And Stretch, of course, and then Normie 10 minutes before the FTW stream started. Yeah.
Okay, so it was an unlisted video that you shared with Stretch, Hef, and a couple of other guys?
Yeah, and Chetnik himself, just to get approval. And then that's what, and that first iteration of the video, yeah, that everything was uncovered. Most names were in there at that point, most of the pictures, I think. Yeah, and then that's when Chetnik asked me to remove stuff, so I just did, yeah. And then there was one point where the plan was to remove the things from Stretch's name, so that's why they're uncovered. Then that changed, and yeah, and then I just didn't get around to doing it, and that's my bad. That's the one mistake really, is covering up Stretch's name. I get the fact that because you look at the live stream I did on Bitwave, and I know Bitwave's small and no one's really going to watch the archive of it because it's on my alt channel as well. You may want to look at Hank as well in your chat and just ban him.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. So I did a stream that night after I released the video, and I was actually reading out each DM and going through it and connecting it all together. I probably should have done that in the video more, but it was just a quick, okay, here's all the DMs, here's all the information, try and do it as neutral as possible, and then try and and so the facts were out just in clay, so that it would get out in the best form possible with just, here's the facts, make your speculation in that, but try and keep most of the speculation out. If there was any speculation, it was just based off, the DMs didn't give enough information, and it was something that we needed to look into. Also, with Warski, I've got DMs read out by another person to confirm that there was nothing going on there. So, yeah.
Okay, well, the thing is, I'm not a...
I see how it looks weighted. I'll just finish that point. I see how it looks weighted because you've got Chetnik DMs, which are just DMs of me talking over the top. Then you've got the Drama Queen recording Cog in America, just quickly showing that to give context, and then Cog on FTW. So it does look Cog heavy and weighted. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. There was something else. The thing about speculation, like, I'm not against people speculating shit. Like, I do it all the time on my channel. I try to be clear about it. Maybe I could be a bit more clear. I mean, like for example,
an understatement, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, like if someone's going ahead and just saying that, oh well, this shows that Ralph was 100% working with Earjuice behind the scenes. No, that's a stretch. That's not what I was saying. Like,
yeah, because you just made these. I mean, that first stream, you just make these massive jumps in logic as far as everybody sees it. Like, it's just okay. No, he knew about the relationship back in July. Here's Ralph talking about it. Earjuice had the cog heads already, so why is he asking for them? That means one big massive fop, and he's working for Ralph since July. Like, that's really, if you break down the stream, that's pretty much what you've got there. Oh, and Hef's involved and Stretch. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it comes across.
Well, the thing about the...
See if you understand that. Like, that's really what it looks like.
Yeah, well, to break that down real quick, the thing about the cog heads, like, the thing that gets me is that, okay, first the cog heads are being used in a thumbnail, like, a couple days before the phone call happened. That's the first thing. It's not just a case of where, oh, because I first thought, okay, well, maybe he added that, the thumbnail, and then retroactively. But no, it's also... You
use memes all the time that are not your own and made by other people, because you can pretty much guess who made that Scooby-Doo UA meme. I have a big guess. And get it because I got the artwork off that person.
I believe it was Drama Queen.
It was Drama Queen that made that meme. Yeah.
Right,
and that's
but
why I knew she had the cog heads. Yeah.
Okay, but why couldn't you just make the cog heads yourself?
I don't know. Everyone thinks I'm really good at photoshopping, and I'm not. Yeah, I don't know how to cut out stuff. It's one thing I don't do. I get someone on Fiverr to do it for me usually. I just send them a bunch of stuff, but I knew that she had it already, so... I make my little animations the same way I make my thumbnails in this Canvas web-based software. That's really, I don't know how to cut out stuff. I've tried and it just keeps fucking up. Or I need to buy the software, I think, and just and do it because I keep trying to download free software. So.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm getting some complaints in chat. Half of them tonight have been illegitimate. But let me try to raise your volume up a bit. Yeah, your volume is going to come in like shit right now. Sorry about that.
Oh, shit. Oh,
yeah.
Well, I probably... Oh, fuck.
No, that's not your end. It's my end. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
let me... I'm worried about myself as well. Shit. Yeah, righto.
Okay.
Yeah, so... and so, like, when I was talking to you, I tried to give you all this information, and then I was like, look, we explain everything and break it all down over at FTW on that BitChute link that I gave you, because it's like a good 40 minutes where all three of us are there, and we're really, we're explaining the whole thing of how it came together, because it wasn't just you. There was a lot of people that were questioning our intentions and all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about that. Like, when it comes to, like, just talk to the person you have a disagreement with. One of the things, like, not everything Hef says is wrong. Like he was on the show once here, and he said that why are you trusting anyone on the internet? He's right about that. The default is you don't fucking trust anyone. That should also.
Yeah, I've got a comment of you saying otherwise you get knives in your spine and all of this other thing if you trust a YouTuber.
I mean, maybe if I overstate it, it's for a reason. Like, obviously, there's cases where you'll know when to trust somebody, but by default, if you don't know the person, no, you shouldn't. And so, yeah, I will tell people, no, don't trust these people. They're not good. They'll do shit to you left, right, and center. Because they do, like, whenever this happens, it's like, I mean, just look at Ralph. I mean, like, if you didn't have guys like Dick Masterson, what's the other guy's name? Dame Pesos, and others, like, just all forming a chain, like, preventing that big, the gun from rolling off a cliff and just catching him right in their embrace, he'd be done. Like, that'll be the end of him. But no, they all, like, prop him up, and then they'll just keep on doing it. And then they'll just do this stupid grifting act where they just manufacture drama to get ahead. And it's just, it's not right, I would say. It's just like instead of just making it look like, instead of just like going after things that people are actually interested in, they just drum shit up. Like, and a lot of times it just, I mean, I've talked about a lot of this on the show on various stuff. Like, if you looked at this stuff, I would also point to some of the articles I wrote on Medium, but again, that's been mysteriously taken down. I don't know who did that, but I'm going to say that it probably was the Plate Gang, because they started talking about it, and then a couple of days later, oh, look at that, it's gone now. I mean, I might just resurrect them from the grave, but it's kind of like they're dated at this point. I might go over some of them, like some of the things I might not agree with that I said back then. But yeah, in my experience,
sorry.
In my experience, e-celebs will fuck you if they see it.
I get the chip on your shoulder too, because I've gone back through a lot of the audio and listened to as part of this this law sort of character video that I'm doing about you at the moment. And so I get that. I mean, I've noticed it myself when I've made videos in the power of a video, and people fucking like go out with it, like, and they just, they'll hang off the every word of someone or something like that. And so they'll just believe any old bullshit. I just think that, but it's just dangerous to fucking be jumping on streams and just saying whatever. People are just not going to take you seriously. And if you're going to start making big jumps in logic, this is when you should start going around and just asking the people, because most people will respond to you. Like that's what I've been doing with my law video about you. I go around, and that's why I really wanted the interview. It's not to try and fuck you over or anything. It's just to be like, hey, what do you think about all these points and about all these other people that say all the shit about you? Because there's a lot of law there, you've got to admit. I mean, everybody's heard the audio from you from 2016. And there's a lot of points that person says to you in that recording, and that's really why it's in the video. It's not just because haha it's funny. I mean, it is, but at the same time they're telling you, look, you're just bullshitting, and you're just jumping into conclusions with a lot of stuff and making a lot of statements. You should be looking at context of things and asking people about stuff before just going out with wild accusations.
Well, firstly, like when it comes to my credibility, like I don't care. I just do this as a hobby. Like, I mean, I may have thought about this time or that time. Like at one point I did monetize the channel, like way back in 2014, but like it's no longer monetized. It's not been monetized for several years now. And like,
I've not monetized at all. Yeah, I don't bother because I get flagged for hate speech so many times. Google's not going to want to. So
yeah, but I don't even have but in my case, I don't even have a tip jar. I don't like see myself making a career out of this. Like maybe that's maybe that's a mistake. Like you have to do this in order to make it viable. But I'm not against it's not that I'm against people making money per se, but money tends to corrupt. So I try to stay away from that shit in general. But so when it comes to my credibility, you got this wrong or that wrong. Like with the whole Allison rap shit, like she was hardcore advocating for really bizarre pedophilia shit based on some kind of cultural relativism. Like, I believe that the document was still up there if you want to go take a look at it. And the guy admitted he never even read it in the argument. I don't know.
If you'd send that to me after the stream, I'd be more than happy to take a look at it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, if
I don't think people in the chat really want to start going down that rabbit hole.
I mean, go ahead. Like, I mean, I don't really see an issue with it. And like the tweets that I show that, yeah, she was advocating this shit on social media. No, fuck that bitch. Like, seriously, she deserves to get fired. I don't regret reading that article at all.
Do you get all the complaints that are made against you? Because it all seems to be the same sort of thing that people are saying.
I mean, it depends on who you...
Speculation and talking about my intentions and then just jumping to conclusions based on that. You've got Spectre and people from the Nick Recator Discord that are just making jokes with the doxing server and they're just saying the same thing. They're just not, they're not taking you seriously because of these big jumps in logic. Because you've got it's like you go in and, you made the Patreon and got in and then didn't pay and you were getting those screenshots. And so you've got a screenshot of Joseph TX talking to Nick Recator and you say, oh, well, there might be something in the DMs here. But why not go to Joseph TX and just ask him and just be like, well, hang on a sec, or just be like, hey, what is the go here? And they'll probably give you a straight up answer because I asked Joseph TX myself and he did give me the answer.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like he's waiting for me to do an interview with him. He's already given me a written statement.
I mean, that's great, but the guy's like taking pictures and stuff, like going to courthouses. Like, I mean, I wish I showed this on screen because that's some good shit, but he's like going to like courthouses, traveling like across Texas, getting these documents to like, dig up some dirt on this Ron Toye guy, which, I mean, like the stuff he finds.
That's massively important at the same time. Like, look at what he found. I mean, he found public court documents about Ron Toye being abusive to his ex-wife.
I mean, there's some of it, like, keep in mind with some of that is confirmed. The stuff, like, I think there's enough evidence to support that he was in some ways abusive. But, like, note about, like, the whole remote thing. Like, oh, well, Ron Toye likes to take a remote and beat people with it. That's not quite the case because he was hit first. Like, people leave that part out. We don't know how hard he was hit. We don't know the specifics of that. But the fact of the matter is, like, it's hard for me to like sympathize with someone that like I think actually Destiny says I think he's correct about this point. Like,
so there's that, but there's those points, but that's not what that's not what I hear, and that's not what other people talk when they're talking about John Kelly. They're going to talk about or see the stream where you just bring up a bit of a chat log and say, look, Nick Recator is doxing. I've got the proof, even though it's not here. Well, they obviously did it in DMs, and that's definitely
no. There was one docs thread that Nick Recator posted, and that was a Kiwi Farms thread about some guy. Like I think he was like some SJW guy.
I've watched the streams and I've gone through them, and that's like, and the whole chat's asking you, where's this Nick Recator doxing proof?
I showed it as like I mean. I could show it to you right now about it, and I showed it on stream. Like, I mean, it just seems to me that like people don't want to look at the evidence. Really,
I do. I want to see it. If you've got it, then because I'm going to agree with you with one thing. And Spectre tried to justify it, and that is him posting a link to your docs in Nick Recator's Discord. Did Nick Recator know about it? Who fucking knows? And probably not, because Nick Recator's sort of like me, where he's not going to really want that sort of shit. But I'm not going to extend. I think that's pretty.
No, Nick Recator's come out. No, well, that's the thing. Nick Recator hasn't done anything about all this shit, and like Joseph TX was gathering all these documents in the server, and you can clearly see the other participants in the server helping him.
They're legal documents. It's a law-splaining server, and it's all to do with law. Of course, they're going to be getting.
I mean, by that logic, you can justify any docs. Like, oh, it's legal, it's public information. Well, like. I have yet to
with law, like yes, it has all the names on it. Should Nick be redacting those when he puts them on stream? Yeah, I reckon that he should be, which he does most of the time, from what I've seen. If they're just collecting it within a pay piggy Discord, well, like they're talking law. They're obviously
but this has nothing. But there's a bit an issue here. This has nothing to do with the law at this point. It has to do with like the whole thing about Ron Toye being abusive. Like, and this is a point I tried to bring up earlier after the first point about how like the allegations against him are not all confirmed. There's some things that are, but some things that aren't. It has no bearing on the legal case that Nick Ricade is bringing up, and like you can't really make a character argument in this way. There's some very rare cases where you can bring up a person's character in order to like say disqualify them from giving testimony or.
But then you've got Ron Toye in a deposition and going on about my feminism and all of that sort of stuff because he's quoting things from Pretty Little Liars and stuff like that. I mean, that's the case. Like those are the arguments that he was bringing up for why he decided he would make all these tweets against Vic Mignogna.
Yeah, but that's
so it sort of does call into question his character. Like,
no,
I think it is important.
That's not quite like. I mean, the whole thing. Like, okay, let me actually.
But shouldn't people be breaking down? Like, if those documents are found, of course, people are going to want to break that down and have a look at everything. And really see what the truth of the matter is.
Yeah, but he's bringing up all this other
before they go and do it on a live stream. You know, they want to get the facts. Like Nick, I'm sure would want to get the facts right, redact all the info before he gets it out there.
Yeah, but let's just say that they were looking at the Ron Toye shit specifically. Like, okay, this is a domestic abuse case that happens to be about Ron Toye, which that would be kind of underhand. That's underhanded anyway, but we'll ignore that. The Joseph TX guy is also getting businesses for like past and present businesses that this guy's worked at, marriage certificates and licenses. Like it's on the video with his name on it. I actually think that's like that's like the most clear cut case of where there's doxing going on the server. Like he's digging out every little information you can find about the guy.
Well, all I think he did is from the sounds of it, he walked into a courthouse and he paid the fee and he got public court documents. I mean,
yeah, but like, I mean,
is that a shame that it's got personal information on there? Yeah, but is it, is that information that people would want to know? Fucking oath, that's information that people want to know about Ron Toye.
Yeah, but
of course it is.
Yeah, but by that logic, it's okay to dox the guy then. I mean, that's what you're saying, like, just because it's on a legal court document. And by the same token, you could say, oh, well, your address is in the phone book. That's public record. It's public information.
No, I think you just jump into conclusions. And I think that if it would be irresponsible for them to go outside of that Discord and without the names and things like that redacted, which is from what I know, what they did. So
no, they didn't redact it. I redacted all those names on the stream. Like, I mean, maybe I missed one or two, but like he had them up in the open. Like, hey, here's the name of his son. Here's his
in the Discord.
Yeah, in the Discord, I told you.
Yeah, but not on stream. It's just like, okay, well, they go over court documents. And
okay, so then in the Discord there is doxing. Like, this has nothing to do with the specifics of the...
So that's your argument, because they're going over... over legal documents
they're compiling information, and like according to Nick Ricade's own definition of doxing, they're compiling information, making it easily accessible, and like make it available for other people to download and take it. That's not to say that Nick Ricade has a special authority on it, but at that point, yeah, it is. Just because they use the route of like legal documents doesn't make it any less so. I mean, I could justify like anyone could justify a whole bunch of stuff because and I'm not jumping to conclusions by bringing up like oh well, this is public information with the addresses and stuff like that. The secret about doxing, really, because I noticed that you shit talked to me on Twitter a little bit about how I love doxing and stuff like that. I mean, like...
Yeah, well, I found that's what people are giving me statements, dude. I mean, I have to go off that because I can't interview you about what they've said. That's why I've been trying to get on and been trying to talk to you about these sorts of things.
I mean,
People are saying that you have gone around doxing and harassing, talking about other people's family members.
Well, firstly, I never harassed anyone, firstly. Secondly, as far as doxing goes, I mean, like, technically speaking, in a very technical sense, yeah, I posted people's names up and I posted people's, various things about them. Like, if you want to consider that doxing, that's fine, but I did it in public interest on my Medium blog.
And so that would be unvarnished or that you're talking about?
No, I'm not talking about unvarnished. I didn't write in Medium blog, I'm unvarnished.
But there's a Twitter post and you're saying, hey, what's this? And it's a picture and a name and an address. Is that not doxing?
That's a link to a Baphomet thread.
With a dox.
Is there as far as I remember what the information on it, there was information about alleged information about her and some other shit, but that's about it. But at the same time, you're telling me that when Nick Ricade's server does this, when they go ahead, they take Kiwi Farms threads and they upload it there, that's not doxing? Because with the Kiwi Farms threads, firstly, all their names are there. Like, show Greg Duchette's on there. Shane Holenberg is on there. In fact, I have like a lot of those screenshots. Like, if there's one thing you want to fault me for that series, a lot of I have a lot of screenshots of them posting Kiwi Farms threads. And the thing about those Kiwi Farms threads, I didn't just take every single thread that said Kiwi Farms on it, because I recognize Kiwi Farms is a forum that has a lot of different topics on it, and not all of them are doxing. I've shown the website on my show. I'm not going to say it like, oh yeah, if you ever link to Kiwi Farms, you're guilty of doxing. That's absurd. But the threads I did select were ones that were on specific people, targeting them for specific things, mainly enemies of Vic Mignogna or people that are part of Comicsgate. I'm sorry, not people that are part of Comicsgate, people that oppose Comicsgate. So, like, if you want to nail me for, like, doxing on Varnish because of that Baphomet thread, I mean, like, you can give me shit for that, like, go ahead. But then Nick Ricato also deserves shit for hosting a whole server for that.
All right. So, and then this is one of the other ones who don't want their username out there.
Yeah, that's fine.
So they said, do not use my name when talking about the incident. John Michael Kelly doxed me and used my dead infant brother to make me upset, and then make fun of me for being fat and having a dead relative. Other than that, I will not talk about it anymore. But I also heard stories of him fucking his sister because he got rejected by a girl.
Okay, that guy.
Let's just go. I don't know about the second part if you want to comment on that, but what about the first part? Like,
no, the first
people using dead infant brothers to make me upset and making fun of him being fat and a dead relative.
If that individual wants to make an issue of it, I can prove that I never did that. He's claiming that claim is just wrong. It's just bogus. I don't know why he's going with that direction. I mean, like, I acted like a dick towards him, but I never fucking mentioned his brother, let alone ever knew he had a brother when I had that conversation with him. Like, the only reason why I'm, like, honestly, I want to say his name right now because I know that's a fucking lie straight up. But that's just not true at all. There's just no truth. There's no truth to that whatsoever.
Yeah, and then Unvarnished said, sure, Kelly and another guy started harassing a friend of mine, telling him he was cheating the government. They followed him across platforms if he blocked or ignored him. My friend is legally blind and he gets government aid. Well, me and Kelly debated about it in DMs. He gave a vague threat to my daughter. I released the DMs because of this. He took off for a while. He came back. He tried to get into it with me again. Tried to dox me as well, but got my location wrong. Also named my daughter in his attempts to target her as well. After getting called out for that, he locked down his account and took off. Slowly, he's been trying to make a comeback for himself and relevant again by first trying to ride Nick Ricato's dick over the Kick Vic stuff and what was going on.
Okay.
And then there's a Twitter picture. There's a link to a video, and then there's the Twitter post where you say, "Hey, what's this?" and it clearly shows a photo of some lady and an unvarnished docs with a bunch of personal information.
Give me a second.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, go. For
yeah, just give me a quick minute. Okay, that's taken care of. As for like unvarnished is like I did like anyway. I brought up her daughter in the DMs. Like that's there. I mean, she has her daughter on her own social media profiles. So what do you like? What do you want? You want no one to ever comment on your daughter? Which, by the way, the other person that she's not mentioning is someone named Verilo. Unvarnished and Verilo had a little debate where she admitted that she took welfare money from the government and used it to pay for some stupid anniversary with her and her boyfriend. And what is she doing getting involved with this dumb shit when she should be taking care of her daughter that she claims to care about so much? Unvarnished, you are a horrible mother. You should go take care of your daughter and stop bothering with this dumb shit as you try to cling on for relevance.
So are you going to say then that you deny doing doxing and gay shit yourself, and that you don't go around flagging videos that are against you, anything like that? I don't know. So I mean, I just want to sort of hear it from you, what your perspective on that is. I
mean, like, what do you mean by flagging videos of other against me?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen any evidence of that, but people have said that you. So people, okay. So what are the claims? People are saying that you've been doxing, that you've had doxers in your Discord that you're happy with and talking about, and that you've been harassing people online, based on the statements I just read out. So,
like
do you agree with that or no?
I know, like they'd have to like first like as far as like doxing goes, I already said that like there's some stuff that there's some stuff that if you want to get technical is kind of like doxing, where you basically just look things up that are relevant. But it's always been for public's it's always been as part of like the Medium articles as part of public information. As far as anything else goes, like if you want to say that, oh well, it's a pretty shit thing to do to link that Baphomet thread. I mean, like I don't remember what the full concept of the Baphomet thread even was. But as far as personal information goes, it was nothing even remotely like some of the shit that people have sent my way. So it's like, I mean, like they so that's really all that there is to it. Like you can probably find archives of the Medium articles to go over what information was shared there. Like I think at most it said, oh, this guy who like, and again, when it comes to this, and again, it's like when it comes to like what was out there, everything that I've published about someone was relevant to like what they were doing. So that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, righto. So,
as far as my association with other doxers, I mean, I've talked to people. Like, I'm just gonna say this: I don't know of any doxers in my Discord currently. Like, I know that like the plates were in here at one time, but they were here just to shit on me. And I'm not just gonna ban someone just because they're guilty of doxing ever. Like I've since like kicked them out, not for like doxing, but because they were just trying to shit up after they tried to shit up the last stream, I decided, well, okay, last straw there. But I don't know of any doxers in the Discord currently. Like at the most you could say is that, yeah, John Kelly used to do shit like that at most.
I guess the only one that I know about that Spectre brings up is someone, I think it was Guts, that tried to post Nick Ricader's docs in the stream chat. And then was talking to you about it in your Discord.
I mean, they've posted docs of me or alleged information of me in like the live chats. So it's not like I'm like, you know, I didn't even catch that. Like he didn't, like Spectre certainly never would point that out to me. So that's all I really have to say about that. Like as far as Guts go, Guts is like. The guy just came here to shit on me. I'm not like colluding with people to go ahead and dox people. So if there's any doxers in my Discord, quote unquote, I don't know of anyone in the Discord who's a doxer. So that's about it.
Well, that's pretty fair. I mean, that's fair enough because then you could say the same about me and all of that because you're associating me with Hef and we're all in a big gang together going out to get COG and stuff like that.
Well, here's why I would here's the issue with that.
Let's bring it back to that. So why do you think fundamentally we've been trying to take COG down since July? So there's three of us in this conspiracy and we've been planning to take down COG. That's what you're arguing, I guess.
I argue it's possible to the point where it should be considered, but like if there's not enough proof to back it up, I'll just drop the claim entirely. It depends on if I find information about it, because like if it's not accurate, then whatever. There's no point in just.
Well, this is why I wanted to talk to you because I think you've probably realized that I haven't come in here and just been like, oh, you faggot, oh, you pussy. I've actually been quite, I'm actually quite a reasonable person at the end of the day. I try to be a troll sometimes. I just don't know. Doesn't come off very well.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I said that was... I never said definitively that, yeah, you were in opping COG since July. I do consider... Like, the thing is, though...
it wasn't definitive, but it was there. It was there in that first stream.
Yeah, like, funny. You don't...
I thought it was so funny.
Like I said, I don't like, exonerate someone for, like, if I said definitively, if I made a definitive say, oh, well, I guess people didn't pick up on that. Or maybe I didn't explain enough. That's fine. That's fair. You can totally.
It's the whole stream. I mean, it's just the whole thought process is there, where you just go from one conclusion to the next, and you've jumped all these conclusions and hurdles, and all of a sudden it's Ralph was involved. Well, damn it, Ralph was involved since July. He knew he was the one that probably made the video. You're just like, okay, wow, there we go.
I believe my exact words was, I wouldn't be surprised if Ralph was shown to be involved since July or something like that. If I said it another way, where oh yeah, Ralph was definitely involved since July, then no, that was wrong. Like that's not that's not really the good conclusion there. Like I think there's other reasons to like for you guys to go after Cog. Like I mean, there's two things that are.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. I'll just say this first before you go. So, the first thing is that if I knew, because Chetnik came to me and told me about Drama Queen and the relationship, back when Cog did a stream about Bitwave, it was around the same time, and so if I knew about Drama Queen and Cog at that point in time, I would have gone to Dispatch. Because Dispatch would have loved that, and it would have been funny, and it wouldn't, Stretch and F wouldn't have been involved because I would have known that information. But that Drama Queen recording, it's just me joking around. Because it's the first thing that went through my head. I was just like, what the fuck is Cog going on about? Why is he so obsessed with, wanting me to send DMs to him? It was just so weird. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, he must have sent a dick pic or something. I just made it a funny bit. And the memology video would have just been like any one of my other memology mirrors where it's not really a serious thing. It's just more a bit cynical sometimes. Just having a bit of a joke, a bit of a laugh. And that's all I was doing. But anyway, what were you going to say? Let's hear your theory anyway.
Okay, so there's a couple of reasons. Well, there's a couple of reasons why I could see you would not go up. Well, firstly, you did admit that basically you would, if you found evidence of that, you would just go to Dispatch, which is an enemy of COG. The Dispatch and COG have butted heads over about. The thing is about Dispatch is that, like, I don't disagree with the sentiment of what he's doing. But the guy made a website that was a doxing database. Like,
are you talking about Bitwave, or are you talking about the
No. Let me be clear. Bitwave is, I don't know if he's using Bitwave for that purpose, but he has done this.
Joke.
Yeah, got it. Okay. There was a website called ethanralph.com, which
I remember the site.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like he does things that are funny, but at the same time, okay, well, that's a good reason not to trust Dispatch with anything. Like, you don't want to trust the guy who's ready to like throw you under the bus as a joke. That's the thing. Like, that's the thing that people kind of miss out. Like, yeah, you can be a dirty, rotten scoundrel. Maybe people root you for you on occasion, but you kind of like, people shouldn't trust you at that point. And that's
what happens. Okay, let's say you discovered that information. Like, you discovered exactly what you found, and it's going to be it's juicy. You're like, holy shit, this is juicy goss. This has, it may fucking blow up into something, all by itself. Like, what would you do? Would you do a stream and show it all?
I don't know. I don't know if I would or not. I mean, on one hand, like, yeah, it is funny that what was revealed was funny, and there was like, and like,
it was really about drama. Yeah, it was, because we all know Drama Queen, and so Drama Queen. We all like Drama Queen, and we had no idea about any of this shit.
Yeah,
it just all came out, like, because she was part of our, FTW, and that community is quite close knit. And a few of those people also watch COG every day, and so that's really where, a lot of us did know who she was. So, and that's really the focus of that video. Did I know? Like, but it's dumb not to think, okay, this could have ramifications. If COG doesn't play this right and Ralph comes on the attack or something, it's not hard to predict those sorts of things. But it's not my intention it was just like, my intention of that video is just to get it out. I mean, and just be like, here's the facts. So, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, though, it's like, I mean, based on the way the video is presented, like, it has a no bully disclaimer at the beginning. But it's like, yeah, like outside, like, you do realize that outside of like FTW, like, nobody knows who these players are. Like, Drama Queen, the only one who's known outside of FTW is in fact COG. Like, you do realize that.
Yeah, and of course, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's dumb not to think that that's going to that is what people are going to focus in on. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
all I did was put out the information. It's sort of like shoot the messenger sort of thing. And everybody's been like, you're not the only one that's been coming around and just questioning my intentions on the whole matter.
Right, but you see why people might say, like, because the thing is, like, I think it's a like here, like, the thing is, like, I don't think people should just give people like when it comes to like, it's, I mean, how to put this? You shouldn't just assume that people are just going to be like, oh yeah, they said they're a good boy. They confirmed it. They told me, so that makes him a good boy. Like I see a lot of people do that, and then they just go with it. Like I see a lot of people overlooking a lot of stuff that people do, and like I mean, it even applies to a broader thing. Like they'll criticize like the SJWs for doing like on a political level, which politics is just like amplified drama. That's all it really is when you get down to it at the end of the day, or it's become that way at the very least. Like SJWs or liberals will do all kinds of dumb shit all the time. But then you look at the at quote unquote conservatives, people who call themselves conservatives. Let me just put it like that. And other right wing type personalities, they do the same shit they do a lot of the times. Sometimes it gets noticed. Like I mean, I have noticed that some people point out how dumb it is, how all these conservative e-celebs will put down black conservative or female conservative, etc. But there's other more subversive shit that they do. Like I mean. That basically like talking about like wild speculation stuff, like a lot of the more out there conspiracy theories that even like the mainstream radio hosts have been going on for or against Trump that people have been considering are just like, I mean, are just ludicrous, like stuff like that. But then they'll believe him because, oh yeah, I like the name of them. And then when you get on like a more personal level with like not personal, but when you get more on like the smaller scale. They'll just say, well, I've people like when it comes to Nick Rekieta. Nick Rekieta's been getting away with bloody murder, and I know why he's getting away with it. It's because there's a number of factors involved with that. But a lot of I have had people in the chat tell me, oh yeah, I've spoken with Nick Rekieta. He's a good guy. Like, how could you say these things about him? Basically, but that's bullshit. Like the guy. Honestly, like the most clear-cut way to point out why Nick Rekieta is shit is he put a guy in there who's like, this isn't me speculating or spitballing. Like, you can watch the transcript streams I did on this with Ty Beard. Sorry, not with Ty Beard. About Ty Beard going to the court and bumbling and fumbling every single point and being blown the fuck out on all of them by the judge. Like, it was a disaster to the point where Nick would not even read the transcripts on his stream.
Well, he did. I know that he was disagreeing with the way that Ty handled it. Yeah.
Yeah. About that, Nick did have some disagreements with how Ty handled it, but he downplayed it. Like he said that Lemoyne, who did make mistakes, but not as badly as Ty Beard, did worse than Ty Beard. There's just no way that's not a reasonable, especially someone who witnessed the thing. I didn't, but Nick was there. He would have seen that. Lemoyne, when the mosquito guy, there's just no other way to refer to the guy at this point.
And as a lawyer, I mean, and he's allowed to have his opinion on that. So
I mean, the problem is, it's not that, like, the problem I'm having with Nick is that, remember, Nick recommended Ty Beard to Vic Mignogna. This wasn't Vic Mignogna. Oh, I found Ty Beard who's in Texas. Nick recommended to him, and the reason he recommended to him because he's a fast litigator, and also because Nick and Ty have been friends for quite some time before this. I think Nick at one point said at least 10 years, but it's at least 3 years. Regardless, they've known each other for years. But the problem is, and Nick does know better, because Ty Beard does not have experience in the kinds of field that he's representing Vic for. It's very blatant, it's very obvious. Like, the guy actually tried to say that, blaspheming, he tried to say that he could sue someone for blasphemy, like citing some sort of a case and it was also defamation. That's what he argued. Like, oh, well, Jesus would never strike someone down with strike Vic Mignogna down with lightning dead. So this is defamation and it's blasphemous. That's just a retarded legal argument. Like, but he wrote basically, like, I might butcher this part up, but he basically wrote a cease and desist letter to one of them saying that. And another cease and desist letter, he said, the alleged accuses Vic Mignogna of being a pile of shit. Vic Mignogna is not a pile of feces. And this is defamation and false. This is false and defamation. No, you can call someone a piece of shit. You're never, ever, ever going to be sued for an opinion like that. That's just not how America works at all. And then there's other things like Ty saying, well, defamation, like, truth is not an affirmative defense to defamation. And that's just, that's like, you ask any lawyer, you look up any basic blog. You can look up any legal blog, you look up at court documents and stuff like that. We can even go to the advanced stuff about like the Supreme Court stuff. And it's like these things these guys are saying are not correct, they're not true. And Ty Beard was on there arguing pretty much all of Nick's let me rephrase that. Ty Beard was there arguing many of Nick's points, all of which are shot down, all of which continue to be shown to be incorrect. And Nick doesn't say, whoops, we made him an oopsie. No point has Nick like walked anything back. Like, look, I thought Ty Beard was right for the job. Ty Beard told me he and his firm could do this. I trust them based on their credibility. I've recommended to Vic to get a new lawyer, or Vic's decided again. Nothing like that's happened at all. At no point in this process. And after losing the case, like slaughtered in court, all 17 charges dismissed, there's going to be a hearing on sanctions, which means that Vic Mignogna personally has to pay the defendants for all their legal fees plus punitive costs for bringing up a frivolous lawsuit. And Nick's like, yeah, we're going to totally win the appeal. The appeal's not going to go through. It won't. Just trust me on that point. Like that's more complicated to get into.
Yeah, but then, and that all seems quite reasonable, all the points that you bring up. But then you look at your live streams, and it's a lot of speculation without context, and like you should be trying to talk to these sorts of, like trying to at least interview these sorts of people and getting them on your show, rather than, because all I see these I see like a chat log, or I see one little clip. And then you're just making these big speculations and this is what's really going on behind the scenes without actually showing any evidence. And, it just doesn't come across well. And that's why I don't think people really take you seriously.
I mean, like
a lot of look at the two streams that you did on us. Well, really the first one, because the second one we kind of fucked with. And this one's just more basically a repeat of number 2 when you really look at it, because you're just going over the chat log again. And there's just not much, there's not much there. Like what you're saying about, for anybody that knows me and has heard the streams and me talking about how the Drama Queen information came out and knows about Stretch and all of that, they all know that what you're saying is just complete bollocks. And the funniest part about it is that you're showing chat log of you talking to me actually answering the questions truthfully as possible, and you trying to say that you've caught me out in this big lie and all of these other things, and it just looks stupid at the end of the day.
Well, firstly, if something like I've said before, I'm not in this, like, people think that I'm in this for relevance or credibility. I'm not. Like, if people,
I'm not in it for relevance or credibility either. But I still try and get things right when I put out a video, because otherwise I'm going to get fucking slaughtered if I don't.
Yeah, I try to get things right too, but
do what they do to you.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, okay. But the thing is, like, I don't care that they're trying to do these things to me. Like, I'm going to go ahead. Like, the thing is, if I worry nonstop about, like, oh, did I get everything perfectly right? Did I make sure, is this making a leap too far? Because you're always going to have, like, there's always going to be, like, the audits, like, after you show the evidence. Like, okay, here's the evidence for this. Here's a clear, concise, logical argument. You break everything down. You use MLA citations for everything. You put everything down. And you might even bring up all the people that were involved. You interview them methodologically one by one. You decide to hold a debate on a neutral platform with a moderator, and you beat all the opposing arguments back. There'll always be a guy that goes up. In fact, there'll always be like a bunch of people that come up and just say, well, actually, this isn't right, because there's the context is just missing. Okay.
Well, it's like you. That's what you did to me. And your question, and you're all basically on a stream saying what my intentions are. That's basically what you.
No, it's
telling
not.
Everybody else what my intentions are based on stuff, and it's now because it just looks like speculation. This stream, come and watch the show and laugh.
Yeah, I mean,
That's really how it comes across.
I mean, I'm fine if people come here just to view this as speculation. Like, not everything I show is speculation. I'm not saying that, but yeah, a lot of things I say here are speculation about what's going on.
Yeah, because even when you do throw up a screenshot and it clearly says, it clearly says what's going on, even in that screenshot, and you just say, no, that's not what's happening. This is what's actually happening over here. And it's just, and you're just like, oh, what? Like, what? Why are you jumping to those conclusions? Where is this coming from? It's
well, as we know, as we understand the facts, you did go to 2 other people about the the Cog video first with no, actually no, you confirmed that there was actually 2 other people involved with it as well. Let me rephrase it.
And I go and guess what? I've gone to like 2 or 3 other people about the first part that is ready, and it's unlisted. It's on my channel, but nobody else can see it, of the video about you, because I want to get people's feedback and make sure it's right and see what they think about stuff. Like that's you don't want to fuck up a video with information about ethos and cheating, and it also involves COG. You don't want to fuck that up. You don't want to get that wrong. You want to go and get feedback from people on that.
Yeah, but by that point, you're not even following
public.
Yeah, but the problem here is that you're not even like following through with your own standard there, because like you went on you actually you didn't go to COG beforehand. You admitted that you had fucked up by not taking out his name there. So there is
no, not COG's name. No, not putting back Stretch's name. That's what I fucked up with.
Okay,
I didn't put the DM because I would have had to have gone and re-downloaded all of the screenshots that Stretch gave me that were then uncovered with Stretch's name and putting them back in. That's the part that I fucked up. Taking Chetnik's name out of it, yes. He asked me to. At this point, it's too late. Everybody knows, which I knew as well. But he asked me. He pleaded with me. And I said, okay. My respect, Chetnik's respect for me and my integrity with Chetnik was more important. And I knew I was going to get criticized for it. And guess what? I got criticized for it. I was willing to take that for Chetnik. That is fine. But as far as my intentions with trying to take down COG and stuff, it's not like who I wouldn't like for people that know me. Like most people call me a massive vagina, and it's true in a way. Like I'm not one to be like, I know what I'll do. I'll put out a video to take down COG and make him totally spurg out on Twitter for a week and get Ralph and everybody else involved. What a great idea. That's a fantastic, great idea. You know what? It's just like, nah, man, I wouldn't. It's just like, it was just about, the video is just about trying to get the facts out, getting them out as neutrally as possible. And that's what I tried to do. And people have been putting my intentions and, and what they think my intentions were, or Stretch's intentions. It's there in the chat log. It's there on the FTW stream that I linked to you. It's all there. We've explained it as best as we can, and there's nothing more to it. Now, do we have a dislike for COG now? Yeah, of course. He's been dunking on us all fucking week. And then you send him DMs, and he believes the shit, and then starts attacking me for it, and then...
Oh, are you talking... Wait, hold up. Are you talking about, like, I saw that video. Like, I wasn't going to bring it up because, firstly, I didn't think you'd be coming on. And secondly, I didn't think it was relevant because that's something that COG said. I did DM COG some stuff, but he like went to places that I was like, I looked at that, I'm like, COG, what are you doing? Like that's COG's doing his own thing. Like I did DM him one of the images I shared on screen. Which one was it? Fuck. Part of the give me a second. The one that
I'd love to know which one it was.
Yeah, sure. I have no problem telling you what it is. The one where I begin with, so why didn't you contact COG about the video you released about Drama Queen that features him being before publishing it? As far as this being definite, I never told him that, oh yeah, Ralph was definitely new. I never said that. Like, he went that way. But didn't you in the same thing say that, yeah, we were working with Ralph all along?
Oh, and yeah, I did as a joke, yeah, because that's what you were sort of hinting at in your stream. So I told him that as a joke, yeah, and just to piss him off, because I don't really give a shit about his opinion at this point. Because he's been fucking dunking on me in all his streams on Twitter. He's been dunking on me, and more importantly, he's been dunking on everybody else in FTW. And I'm just not going to stand for it. Fuck him. He's been disingenuous. He's been lying. And he's going and he's the root cause of all of the little problems that are happening within the Discord on FTW and COG and the other, sub sort of Discords. He is the root cause to all the drama that is going on. Yeah, of course I've got a problem with fucking COG now. I think he's a fucking liar. He's been lying about everything. He's been very disingenuous. And even when he makes an apology or he walks something back, he will then usually put another descriptive word like rushed or something like that in there, just to keep digging. And he just keeps saying stupid stuff. So of course I've got a problem with him. If he's going to say, well, I don't do drama on my channel, and my channel's not monetized. He said that on a monetized channel. Like, Cognitive Talks is monetized. Everybody knows that. For him to say, oh, well, no, when it's different when I put Ralph into the thumbnail and title or something stupid like that. It's not drama when I do it. Or the other day, he had hashtag drama in the fucking title talking about Tonka. And then I went to him and I said, here, play this audio, which was the I don't do drama audio that I clipped. And because I thought he was just being funny. He wasn't being funny. He said, oh, no, we're just doing drama today. We don't usually do drama. So you're fucking kidding me. So I'm not monetized. I didn't do it for money. I don't make hardly any money out of it with the tips or stuff. So yeah, of course I went, and then a site comes to me with art, with Cog cucked in a wall. I was just like, yeah, fuck it. You know what? I'm going to put this up on a merch page, the same merch store that Cog uses, and I'm going to shill the fuck out of it. Just to piss Cog off, just to do it based on principle. Because he's said all of these bloody things about us and keeps saying all this shit, then fine. I'll fucking do it then. So, you know, yeah, I've got a problem with Cog now. Did I have a problem when I made the video? No, not really. Did I think he had an ego issue? Yeah. But was our intention to bring him down? No. Our intention was to get the information out about Drama Queen and what was going on. Was it unfortunate we didn't go to Cog and the way it all came out? Yeah, I guess. But then Cog came on FTW and he really downplayed it, and he spoke about it on the stream, confirmed everything that was going on, plus extra stuff like dick pics and all of that stuff. Then it becomes up to so everybody else jumps on. Now, as you would agree with me, he is going, you know, he starts spurging out on Twitter and doing a botted Twitter poll and all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah, like I've never ever said Cog was innocent in this affair ever. Like, yeah, like the thing is,
it's the one thing that we will totally agree on is just like he did it, like he really did. It's in my video, regardless, because just remember as well, the video was played on FTW. It's FTW was first to go with this anyway. You know, and then you've got Stretch doing all of his streams and really going digging deep in on this on the happy hour with Red Foreman and Savage. Make sure you just subscribe. So, you know, it's like, if you look at it, was it really my video that did all this, or is it just Cog himself doing it to himself by burning himself to the ground? He could have handled it a lot better.
I mean, like here's the thing. Yeah, I agree with that, but like the thing is, like. The thing is, though, there is one point that Cog has that is sort of correct. I mean, like, I don't think, like, Cog just doesn't really, in general, he has this weird way of, like, being correct about something, but not, like, maybe even worse than I am sometimes. Like, he has a point. Yeah, he has a point about something.
That's a good statement. That's brilliant.
He has a point about something, but he won't, like, get the right words for it. And it's just, like, he doesn't express it the right way. Like, yeah, Cog's, a lot of this shit is Cog's fault. Because, yeah, if he just didn't react to it, if he didn't take it out on, like, the chat, like so many other people have done, if he didn't, like, you know, go on, like, if he didn't, like, keep tweeting on about it and other stuff, yeah, he would have mitigated this a lot more. But that doesn't change that there was going to be people talking about it regardless. That part's true. Like, like primarily, like, we get down to it, like, Ralph picked up like what you had done, took that, and then his take on it was, well, Cog's a cuck, and that's going to be what we're going to focus on. Like, I mean, one part of this, like, there is a bit of missing information on my end here. There was an to my understanding, Drama Queen did appear on the Ralph Retort.
No. You got that totally wrong as well.
Oh, I did?
And that's what I mean by you need to go and research these things. Like, that's what we were laughing at you about. Because, yeah, that one of your logical jumps from the me getting the art, not needing artwork and all of that, you then jump into, Drama Queen was even on the Ralph Retort. No, she wasn't. That's Dame just with a soundboard, dude, with just samples and clips and putting it together. Drama Queen hasn't made an appearance. She went offline because the husband found out weeks ago, or even a month ago, and that's why she hasn't been around. She did make a comment on my Rent Free song, which would have been, it was basically around the time just before I released the video when she made the comment. So she was still sort of watching. So she probably has seen the video, but my guess is she's totally logged off and she's not coming back. So, I mean, everybody has been grilling Drama Queen, and especially Stretch and their stream. They've really been digging into Drama Queen and what else she's been up to, especially with the Negs community that she used to be a part of. They've uncovered all sorts of other stuff and been chasing down other threads, which is great. It's just, because Drama Queen was a part of our community, so it was a big shock to us. And I get that other people don't see that because it's because they don't know who Drama Queen is. But she just hasn't been around. That's why she hasn't copped any heat or been on any shows. Yeah. But as far as Ralph pushes a narrative worse than all of the other ones, and he really did with that stream. I'm glad he didn't mention my name. He didn't say whose video it was. He did. He mentioned me, and I'm just some spurg. He says that. The reason why he says that and doesn't want to bring me up or have me on the show is because he fucking hates me. He's got me blocked on Twitter and keeps constantly blocking me all the time because I've made the Daft Gunt songs and my Twitter handle is @DaftGunt. He fucking hates it. It fucking drives him insane. I know it does because he's told me as much.
No, it does. It totally doesn't bother him.
I have a hate for Ralph though.
Look. It totally does not. No. That guy, he's a jolly fat man. He could take all the gun. Who am I kidding?
Well, there's more Daft Gunt coming because we're Bitwave, because he's been logging in as a troll account on Bitwave. And so the Gunt Wars are beginning soon, I've heard. So as soon as I'm sort of done with your little video, that's where I'll be going. I'll be going to make more Gunt memes and Gunt music. So,
I mean, I'm not gonna shit anyone for making fun of Ralph. Fuck that guy. Like,
but my, the one thing I will say about Ralph and his stream, bringing it back to the Drama Queen stuff, is that if he's going to grab my video and then spin it in to Cogs a Cuck by the end of it, of course he's going to do that. And two, I have no control over that. He can do whatever, he's going to do what he fucking does, Did people from Happy Hour reach out to him and tell him that and try and give him additional information and change his narrative? Yes, they did. But did it work? No, of course not. Ralph's going to do what Ralph does. I can't fucking change that. And so is Tonka, and so is all the other people that jumped in on it. And that's up to them.
Yeah,
I have their own agency.
I have noticed that Tonka's also pretty much guilty of doing the same thing Ralph is doing. Like, oh, someone something embarrassing happened to Cog. Let's just push this because it's funny. Like this guy, the same guy who has like this big, like the biggest fucking hug box ever. Like, it's just it's like.
Of course they're going to do that. Like, as if you wouldn't be able to be like, oh yeah, I think this might happen. Of course. Like, did we think it was going to blow up into what it did? No, of course not. And whose fault was that? Is it my video or is it Cog because he spurged out so fucking hard? Like, which do you think it is, or do you think it's both? I'm like,
I don't think it's an either or thing. Like, I mean, like anyone who says that Cog spurging out didn't contribute to that is just like retarded. Like, there's no other way to put it. So, like, but yeah, the video you produced like started that ball rolling. And like I said, it is odd that like Cog is featured mostly in the as like the biggest, like the highlights of the video are Cog. Cog's the only one who, like, you knew like some of the ramifications that would potentially happen as a result of this. You did have beef with Cog in the past, at least. I guess that was resolved. Like before
yeah. It's like, did I find that Bitwave thing annoying? Because the memology thing, as I said before, memology mirrors are usually a satirical, bit of a like banner sort of fun stuff. And that's what I did. I told Cog I was doing it. And then he just went off and dogpiled me. Was I annoyed over that? Yeah, but, of course I got over it. It's not like a big deal. I mean, Dispatch turned around and then made the exact same video anyway, just to make Cog spurg out and do a stream, which he did. And we all laughed and had fun at it. Like, did I enjoy laughing at Cog at that point? Yeah, I guess. But was I angry with him? Yeah, I guess.
I mean, like,
annoyed, but I wasn't gonna. Then it's not like I had the information up my sleeve and then pulled it out and be like, aha, I'm gonna put it all out. Like that drama queen recording, I totally forgot about that. Really, it was just like this funny bit that I was talking about, and I think I realized it when I was in a VC, which is recorded with Stretch and Hef. I'm pretty sure it's in there where I'll be like, oh, wait a minute. I know about this bloody recording that I've got with Drama Queen from this UA interview. It was just at the start while we're breaking the ice because I'd never spoken to her before. So you just sort of have a bit of a chat to get to know one another and then go into the interview. And that's sort of what that is.
Give me one.
Yeah,
hang on.
Then relevant, but then it became totally relevant.
Hang on to that thought for one quick second. I'm going to, apparently people in the chat are saying the stream is down. Checking that real quick.
No sound still going for me.
Okay, then ignore them. They're just trolling. Well played. Okay, continue.
Well, that's all I'm saying is like the drama. You look back, like I totally forget about the Drama Queen audio. Did I think that because I was hinting, because I made a joke saying, well, Cog sent a dirty dick pic to Drama Queen and that's why she took off because now she's not going to talk to Cog. Yeah, that was the joke. Did I think they were actually in a relationship or anything? It was like, no, I didn't. That didn't even cross my mind. I had no idea. But then when and it all, see, we found out as I described in the video because of the thing about the makeup stream. Like, and you bring up a good point. Why am I streaming about makeup? Look, it's a collectible stream. Kitty Foreman wanted to come on and show her makeup collection. And we were sort of a bit like, okay, well, how are we going to do this? It was all a bit weird for me and Stretch because we're like, we don't nothing about makeup. Can we do this? Hey, what about Drama Queen? She has 1,000 sub channel and used to do all this beauty channel stuff. That's why she was on Cog's show. She was talking about the whole James Charles drama. That's when she went on Cog's stream. And so that's when I asked Stretch. Now I knew about Chetnik and he knew about Cog and the husband. And so once we told each other, all of a sudden it all clicked. And then we go and talk to Chetnik and he tells us more about the husband. And all of a sudden we've just within 10 minutes, it's all blown open. I mean, that's the honest truth of how it all happened. And then you just sort of like, holy shit, what do we do with this information? And it's not like, there was a plan and I guess to go to Cog but it's just sort of how things happen. Like Stretch then told Hef because it's sort of in this sort of like, oh, I've got hints at what I'm going to tell you. I've got some real juicy goss. Try to hint at it. He wanted to know more. Ends up telling him, oh, well, and then it just all of a sudden Hef's laughing his ass off, ringing us up because it's just so funny to him. He loves laughing at shit, as you probably know. And then it's just sort of like, okay, well, how are we going to do it? Get this out? Should we get this out? Should we go to Cog? So it was just all this discussion. We had plans. It didn't go the way we thought it planned, but then it went on FTW first, and that was just the way it happened. And by the end of that stream, like I talked to Stretch, and there's a screenshot because Ralph puts it up himself on his kill stream, where he's throwing me under the bus and telling everyone that I'm a Cog fan now and all this shit. So he's doing the opposite of what you're doing, where he's saying my intentions were to try and make Cog look as good as possible out of this situation. Where, I talked to Stretch and I just said, well, he came on and confirmed it all. He really downplayed it, but that went really well. Wow, that was pretty good. And then all of a sudden he just starts spurging out on Twitter once I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I don't.
Shit, what the fuck?
I don't get why Cog would do that. That wasn't smart of him, like, at all.
No. And that's what's caused most of the problems. That's why, like, you listen to Ralph when they had the fake drama queen on the stream and everything. Because Hef is on that show as well. And Hef sort of went over there just because it's a dumpster fire. Does Hef like Ralph? No, not really. Do plate feed them information? Yeah, fine. But it's because it's just funny and they just want to have a good laugh. Like, so, but they're over there and you hear them clearly say, would we be doing a stream about this if Cog hadn't spurged out? No, definitely not. It would have made one show that everybody would have done their one stream and that was it. But who's the one that kept it going? Who's the one that kept streaming and spurging out on Twitter? It was fucking Cog. And then who's the one? And then he's the one that keeps being disingenuous to Stretch, myself, and Hef, and FTW and all these other people, and keeps saying all of this bullshit and saying that FTW is a doxing server and all this crap. And you just get sick of it after a while, and you're just like, you know what, fuck COG then. Yeah. So it is what it is. But
I mean, there is there is evidence that points to like the plates being involved with like the FTW people, but like as far as it being a doxing server,
no. Look, they're in that Discord at the moment, and they've been pretty nice and just having general conversations with the people. Have they been booted out for doxing before? Yes. Have they been booted out for doxing like 5 times and they keep getting more and more chances? Yes. Is that the same with my Discord? Yes. Is that the same with many Discords? Yeah. And will they stop doing it? No, because the plate are going to do what they want to do, and they've got their own agency, and because they know that doxing makes people spurg out, so they want to watch people spurg out. That's why they really, I think, they dox people, because they want to see which people are going to be able to handle it and just be like, oh, whatever, and which people are really going to spurg out from it.
I mean, like that's the face they'd like to show, but there's some like circumstantial evidence that suggests that like they're not just into doing that. Like for one thing, they were joined they were basically arm in arm with Ralph. Yeah, sure, they shit on him every once in a while. It's kind of like a good natured kind of ribbing. They wouldn't really sink in hard. In fact, I think for there was a time where they're saying the gun meme has worn its course. Yeah, actually. Specifically, like I can back that one up right off the bat, on top of my head. There's a stream where there's a stream like right before Ralph and what's his name, Zoom, right before they part ways. There's a stream where they're like there's a stream where he's there, Ralph is there, Zoom is there, a bunch of Plate Gang guys are there. Ralph is drunk as all ever, and he's bitching and moaning about something Toad McKinley said, but not mentioning who Toad McKinley is. I wish I saved a copy. I know it's backed up someplace, but basically, Zoom was like playing defense, saying like, "Yeah, why would people think that Ralph cares about this gun stuff anymore? Like it happened, it's over, nobody cares anymore," or something like that. Not those exact words. I'm paraphrasing heavily there, but they were on there defending Ralph, and they were doing that for a bit. I was only until like Zoom, who has. I don't want to say he's the leader of the Plate Gang, but he has significant pull over them. He said, okay, we're going to start shitting on... He basically more or less made it clear that they're going to start shitting on Ralph. That is after Zoom went on stream to like make fun of Ralph a bit. Like his show was just being terrible, so he decided to call him Mundane Matt. I believe that part was a joke. But then once Ralph took it seriously, Zoom decided, yeah, now it's time to go against Ralph. And then Zoom revealed that, yeah, and I don't know why people aren't talking about this more, because I think everyone recognizes the Plate Gang does what they do. But why are people shitting on Ralph for being caught guilty of doing all the shit that Kraut was doing? Like, all of it. Like, seriously. It's not like this is me speculating or like come up with circumstantial evidence. You don't even need my stream. Medicare Fembot has a stream on one of her channels backing this up. And just in case it goes down for whatever reason, I have a backup copy of it. Zoom showed all this, and there's no reason for Zoom and the Plate Gang to all come on there and lie about it, because Zoom is there, the Plate Gang is there, the Discord is open, the DMs are shown. There's more DMs that are from the Plate Gang that are given to Zoom, and yet like this guy who made a big bounce. Because actually, I should actually point this out, because I did mention earlier in the stream before you came on that Ralph likes to shit on people to bounce back from a career. He was not just shitting on Sargon. He was also shitting on Kraut, because Kraut was a hot topic at the time. Or, actually, Kraut kind of ran its course by the time Ralph started getting on it. But Kraut was an easy target to go after, and he kept on shitting on him. But
Queen of Bats.
Yeah, like
that's funny. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I get the Ralph stuff. Like, did I have a falling out with Ralph at the exact same time? Yes, as Lord Akira and all the rest. Yeah, because I was back in the admin and Ralph was being a fucking idiot.
Oh well,
and so that's where all the gun stuff came from.
Oh yeah, like Ralph
started the Duff gun stuff.
Ralph totally deserves shit. Like, I don't know to this day if Ralph doxed Lord Akira. There's good reasons to suspect he has. Like, it's not definitive, but like
Well, that's what Lord Akira will say straight to your face. And was Ralph then all of a sudden taking down moderator status and not coming in and talking to any of the people in the mod admin who were also, you know, most of those are stream me subs or Patreons? No, he's all of a sudden gone quiet about it and saying that he's, you know, saying that there's nothing there on stream and not talking about it or anything like that. Yeah, he pissed off a lot of people. He pissed me off personally. I was in there with all the admins, so I was fucked off. And I jumped out, and that's why I fucking went. And that's why I go at Ralph now. And
Yeah, like
because I know it fucking pisses him off.
Yeah, like
Funny. Well,
yeah, like
it's more just because it's funny, but that's pretty much it.
I mean, yeah, like honestly, like I mean, like if Ralph was a good person, I just say grow thicker skin. But in Ralph's case, nah, he's been doing so much shady shit. He like deserves all the crap he's getting. Like it's like also like it's even better than that because like I think I called out Ralph before gay apps were a thing. Like this is going back into some like if you want to go like at some really deep lore. Ralph was doing this gay op shit with like a place called like a Slack group called Murderous Crow. Like he got like shown that yeah these guys were basically just planning, coordinating how to run media narratives and how to like discredit certain enemies they don't like. Like the people he was going after were still shit, but yeah, he was doing gay ops before and after Kraut. So this guy has a history of doing this, and I'm surprised that none of them like. I'm surprised. Like, in fact, I've even said on this channel that like Jim should be calling this out as well, just to be consistent about it. Like,
yeah, you seem to keep going on about what Jim should be doing and telling everybody this is what Jim should do.
I mean, like sometimes I think I might be too. Honestly, I think sometimes maybe I'm too hard on the guy because like out of like of most of the E-Celebs, he's not the like he's not as shit as the others, but he's done a lot of he's done shit where it's just like he'll go ahead and he'll attack certain people. He'll basically follow this kind of rule that, okay, I'm not going to go after anyone who doesn't deserve it or anyone who doesn't piss me off. Like, if you go after Jim, there's a good chance that Jim will strike back twice as hard and knock you down. But at the same time, but like, you know, but the thing is, though, he's not consistent in this regard. Like, he gave Ralph a slap on the wrist. Like, he said, yeah, I think Ralph's had a fall from grace. And I played those clips, like, he said it twice. I played those clips on my channel. And I said, yeah, to his credit, he did say that. He kind of distanced himself from Ralph. But when there was a moment for, like, Ralph to really get, like, burned to the ground, he didn't take it. Because I guarantee that if Jim were to go after Ralph the same way he went after Sargon, Ralph would not recover. He'd be done at that point. There'd be no getting up from that. Like, he's only able to have, like, 2,000 viewers at once at this point.
Yeah, right. I just think with, you know, you keep saying what other people should be doing and questioning the intentions of people without evidence, and just jumping to conclusions on a lot of things. And I think that's why people don't take you seriously. I think that, you know, that is exactly what that person is saying to you in that 2016 recording.
Well, you also have to
you just come across as this massive piece of shit because you just jump into conclusions. Like with me as well, you really came in and you love poisoning the well. Like you're just like, oh, check out this channel. He's a furry. He, you know, his music's fucking shit. He needs to do this right and all of this stuff. It just comes off so poorly. Like, and just these massive jump to conclusions throughout all your streams. Like,
well, firstly,
you got to be a bit more tactful. Like, otherwise, you're just gonna keep being the joke. Like,
I mean, like, well, firstly, when I called you a furry, it was because of like the deer persona. Like
it's a deer persona. I have a deer mask. I bought a $10 mask and went, oh, I'll just put this one on because he's got a stupid face.
Yeah, that's where the whole furry. That's where the whole furry comment came from. Like if you think that I was like,
it was funny. I thought it was funny though.
Yeah,
it was good.
But yeah, but as far as like you know, much like the recording thing. Like, I mean, a lot of people just take that out of context. Like, I don't know which version of that upload you have. I don't believe the whole thing was ever fully recorded because it's like a 5-hour fucking conversation. I think there's one being.
All right, well, then what's your perspective on it then? What is your perspective about that phone call and what's happening in there when they're telling you to, you know,
Well, firstly,
Okay, so you go on about that person's homosexuality. They call you out for that, and then you all of a sudden you break down, walk it back, and start crying. And then they tell you basically all of the problems that you've been doing, which seems to be the exact same thing I've been saying.
yeah. Well, there's a couple of
thing other people have been saying. So
yeah, but there's a couple like I said like I'm not like firstly yeah I already admitted that like Negro Joe actually came on the show at one point, confirming some of the stuff that I had said about like their interactions with Ralph. But he also played a bit of that. And yeah, I just said straight up, yeah, I let my pride and my ego get to me that night. I should have never entered that call in the first place. Because those guys, they're just cunts. Like, really. They're just completely disingenuous. Like, those guys...
Is that pride and ego? It sounded like being honest for a second. Where it actually sounds like a moment where you turned around and said, oh, shit, what have I been doing? And they question, and then they tell you exactly and why they don't like you and why they don't like your arguments.
Yeah,
and
but
they make a good point.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that like they're completely disingenuous. They were basically involved with a flame war where they're like defending Daddy Sargon, because we like they didn't like that me and Verilo were hammering Sargon for stupid shit he was doing through with the whole Gamergate thing, using that movement to like boost his game dev credibility when the guys made less games than Zoe Quinn has. It was just like, and there's a whole bunch of other shit with that. And it's like those guys would never ever, they're just completely disingenuous about the entire thing. Like,
oh shit.
Like,
oh, just wait. You're a faggot. I have to call you a faggot. You're a faggot, John.
Kelly. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, but
I
also,
don't want to be called a fairy.
I don't care if people call me like a faggot or crybaby or whatever. It just doesn't bother me. But like.
Okay, well, to me, I'll just say, like, look, it's funny, and that's why it's in the law thing, because it's important and it's a big thing that everybody will link you. If you say, hey, who's this John Kelly guy? People will send you that link straight away. That is the first thing they'll send you.
Well, the thing
every time. But I more look at it from the context of what they're actually telling you. Because it just seems to be that people told you stuff back in 2016, which is the exact same things that people are telling you now. And
yeah, but the focus.
Yeah,
but those guys get upset because I'd argue too much on Twitter. Which, okay, fair enough. I did argue too much on Twitter back then. But is that like a moral wrong? It's my time to waste if I choose to waste it that way. Like, if I choose to be a dick, that's fine. Those guys are assholes to each other and to everyone like around. Like, for that matter, what a lot of people leave out is they recorded that conversation, and they didn't tell me about it. And it's like, yeah, there's one point in the video, in the recording, where I stupidly say, I don't care if this gets recorded. That was a fucking mistake. But nonetheless, they held that over my fucking head.
That was a mistake. That's for damn sure. Because they're still talking about it 5 years later.
Yeah, but the only reason why people are still talking about it, because when that first got dropped, nobody gave a shit. It's only because Ralph decided to like boost that everywhere that it actually ended up back to you. Like I don't know, that's how that happened. Basically, like I went after Nick, and I showed this on stream, and then he immediately links that video, which has nothing to do with any of my criticisms against Nick at all. So it's basically, hey, let's poison the well against John Kelly as much as possible. You know what the best part about that is? The best part about that is that Ralph has me blocked to this day. So this massive...
Yeah, well, he has me blocked as well. So.
Yeah, like Ralph is just a massive pussy where, if you're going to block somebody, whatever, but if you're going to talk shit about somebody like that, and then you're going to go ahead and block them like that, that's just like, without any opportunity whatsoever to respond, that just makes you a massive faggot. Like, that's all I have to say about Ralph's little play there. But yeah, like, again, it's cut up a lot. And as far as like what they're saying about me, about what they don't like, they're not coming from a place of sincerity at all, because they didn't change their behavior towards me, and they figured that it was fair game for them to use that as leverage against me in the future. So as far as like, and honestly, I thought, like, honestly, in retrospect, the things I said back to them, like, I honestly, I don't even know fucking what, like, I shouldn't have said any of those fucking shit. I should have just left the call and not worried if it looked bad if I left the call early, because like, fuck them and fuck their opinions.
Like Monday Matt, and showing his report history and all of these other things.
No, it's not.
At the same time, I think they had a point, just based on what I've seen from your streams.
There is one point. The guy arguing with me that he had, which he was correct about. The whole free speech thing, yeah, it's not a tenable position if you're like, if you end up getting people fired for what they say. So like the whole free speech thing, I made me realize that free speech is retarded and it's not something to be supported. Like, I mean, there's a whole host of other reasons, but like really at the end of the day, I don't think people who support pedophiles and who advocate that child porn should be legal, I don't think they deserve rights at all, like for saying shit like that. And fuck them.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird because talking to you, it sounds like you actually make some good points. But then, yeah, you look at your streams and it's just so much conjecture and conclusions and other stuff.
I mean, I used
also,
to...
Zoom also wants to know, hey, John, why do you dress like an extra from the Brady Bunch? It's 2019.
Oh, man. That's... I can only laugh at that. I don't really have an answer to that. You got me. I got blown the fuck out with that one. I don't have a good answer for that. I don't.
Because I think someone sent me a DM and it had a picture of you, and I think it's a red t-shirt tucked into your jeans. I'm not going to distribute it or share it. I don't agree with what they're doing. By the way, I disavow. But yes, I must admit the Brady Bunch comment is quite a fair comparison.
I mean, if they want to make fun of me that way, I mean, like, I don't like them, like it's not like I want pictures of myself being splashed everywhere, but like,
maybe you need a better picture. Do you still have a bowl cut and tuck your shirt into your jeans? I mean, or have you changed your look at this point?
I'm not interested in like posted pictures of myself online. Like, it's not that like I'm ashamed of my looks or anything like that. In fact, I don't care if people make fun of me on that basis. It's not really that big a deal to me. But like, I don't know. It's just, that's not really like. I think that like, funnily enough, the one photo that I did have what people could see, it's not being circulated at this point. So it's like whatever. But I don't like, I don't know. I just have bad fashion sense. I don't know. I think I look pretty normal in those photos, but I don't care either way. It's kind of like, there's not much I could say about that. I don't care.
All right, fair enough. So, I guess overall, have I changed your opinion about, like, do you really think that there was some big op? So, okay, well, the title of this stream, one more on Earjuice, Stretch, and Hef, and they're op against Cog. So, do you stand by that statement, or do you think, like, is that... Because it seems like you've got this massive chip on YouTubers and e-celebs, and I get it. I get some of your criticisms about them, but I just don't think... I think that you've really got to go and look into people and find out information and chat to others before you just go and make all of these conclusions about people's intentions sometimes, and who they are and what they're about.
Well, the problem there is like, how do you sift out a liar? Because they'll just keep on saying to you, they'll just sweet talk in your ear with all this other shit, and I've dealt with that shit before, and it's like,
well, I don't think I would. I mean, if I was lying, I would just come in here and troll you like I did the other day. And the reason, let's make it clear, the reason why I did troll you with that second stream and start editing stuff is mainly because you wouldn't listen. You were just interpreting actual facts that I was trying to tell you and links that I was giving you as misinformation and not trustworthy, and it's all lies and this is what's really going on. And of course I'm just going to be like, oh well, fuck this, let's just troll them because it's funnier, you know. Most people would be upset that I'm here getting honest answers and having an honest conversation with you. They would much rather me come on and just make fun of you and have a big troll and a big laugh, but it's just not what I do. So, and I need content for the lore video, so there's that.
I see. Yeah, like honestly, like if I look into this, I'm like, oh, okay, well maybe Earjuice didn't have an op at the end of the day, or something like that. Oh, okay. If I look into it and I go like, oh, okay, well new evidence has come to light that shows that there was no op going on, that this is all like fair play or whatever, then yeah. But like the thing is, like I can't just like, I don't operate that way. I try to leave open the possibilities of what happened and what didn't happen. So
I just think he jumped too soon on some stuff. And it seems like, because I don't like, the problem is I can't really question you a lot about the Nick Recator stuff because I don't, I don't really know that much about it.
Well, that's
so,
like,
but they're saying the same things. They're saying, hey, and it looks to me like that, where it just looks like you've jumped to conclusions on a lot of stuff.
I mean, like, there's certain things that I've said about Nick Recator that I can't, like, stand by at this point. I mean, like, there's one or two things here and there, like, specific things about, like, the Iola, like, whatchamacallit? The very specific, very technical things. It's like, okay, well, there's not good evidence for this one. There's not good evidence for that one or whatever. But, like, as far as Nick Recator being, like, shit, as being, like, like, basically grifting people on behalf of his friend Ty Beard, and for himself, for that matter, because I'm not going to say that the guy, like, getting all this money because he's making himself out to be this big hero for Vic Mignogna is, like, fair play and just an honest thing he's doing. No, fuck that shit. And also the fact that Nick just blatantly gets the law wrong consistently and provably so. The guy is shit. The guy's a grifter. Like, and the other problem with that is, like, yeah, a lot of people when they look into my streams and they have criticisms for it, they don't actually know what's going on with the case. Like, they just haven't looked into the nitty gritty about it. They've maybe seen the memes. They maybe seen some of Nick Recator's shows. They haven't actually looked at the specifics. Like,
well, I don't know. I mean, I've only talked to people because, as you know, I'm part of Nick Recator's Discord. I went over there because I thought, oh, well, I'm making these songs with the Rontoye deposition because it's good audio. I'll go over and see what it's all about. It ends up being a great Discord because there's these VCs and everyone's quite chatty. And
well, let me ask you something. I mean, like, I'm not
really.
Yeah, I'm not like gonna like say, oh, don't make fun of Rontoye. Go ahead and make fun of him. But in your opinion, did Rontoye give a good or bad deposition?
Well, he didn't say anything, really. He just kept his mouth shut as much as possible. But going on about the only thing he's confirming is Pretty Little Liars. It's not a good look, where if that's where he's getting his information from, and that's what's going to be recorded.
Yeah, well,
as the facts.
Well, it might not be a good look for him, but like as far as a legal strategy goes, what he did was like, I don't want to say it's perfect, but it was not. I would not.
I think
say
it was best because they probably might, like, as was speculated, they probably didn't have a lot of money to do prep work with the lawyers, and so it was pretty much just a, hey, shut the fuck up with any of these types of questions sort of deal. And that's what he did. So
yeah, which was a good strategy, because you want to say as little as possible, except for like the 1 or 2 points you want to get out there for the court record. When you contrast
but does he come off as a piece of shit? And with even with the stuff that's talked about with the ex-wife and just the way he's very swami on Twitter and some of his statements, yeah, he comes off as a piece of shit. But
yeah, that's fine. Like, that's like an opinion of him. But like, as far as the deposition goes, that was not a bad deposition. Like, and the same thing with Vic Mignogna. Like, okay, there's people who love Vic Mignogna. I'm not a fan of the guy. I call him out as creepy and a weirdo, because he does weird shit and that doesn't make sense. And then he goes back on it. But as far as the deposition goes, no, that deposition was terrible. Like, terrible. He sung like a bird, and he released so many details about specifics of the case, and like, confessing to things like, oh yeah, he said in the deposition that he pulled her hair. Now, we could go on about like, well, he backtracked it moments afterwards, he did this. Like, the fact that he admitted it in the first place should just tell you that, like, and again, it's something that he acknowledged.
Well, it has to be truthful, and so he's just trying to be as honest as possible. I don't know. I mean, to me, it sounded like he was well prepped and well versed, and he got all the points across. And it doesn't seem like it's not like he came out and said, yeah, I've been sexually assaulting multiple females.
Yeah, but admitting that, yeah, the claim, one of the claims that I'm alleged, well, this one's confusing because, like, okay, one of the claims that I'm supposed to be alleging in this petition that I'm submitting to the court did happen for this defamation case. That kills the case. That kills the claim entirely. Like, that was the problem with that. It's like, and Nick's still trying to spin that as something that can be appealed and corrected. But the funniest thing to me is that the story that like whether you believe Jamie Marchi or not, like at this point, I think that Nick confirmed it, but that's besides the point. But the account that Jamie Marchi alleged, like in her tweets, that Vic Mignogna is supposed to be suing her for, that was only included in the second amended petition. They included other stuff in the petition that's just really
It just seemed like such a small thing as well with the Jamie. Like that's all I'll say on it. Like
Yeah.
from both, from Jamie Markey's perspective, it just seemed like this little tiny thing. Like why is she even fucking? It's like she wanted to just be, oh, me too. Look over here. I got sexually assaulted because he touched me once in a lobby or something. You're just like, what? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, like when it comes to like Jamie Marchi and Monica Rial coming forward, I mean, like I think I said like I didn't see a problem with it on one stream, but there was something that I forgot about. I don't like that like they're coming forward with these things publicly into the limelight like this in a way that does come across like they are trying to just get attention off this thing. That's not something that I'm like a big fan of. But at the same time, though, like when it comes to like suing someone for defamation, because maybe some people who are on board with this want to see the SJWs get punished. Maybe they have a very good argument for like why they should be punished, etc. But when it comes to the legal matters of the law, you're supposed in America, like this is different for American law than Australian law. Keep in mind, because in your country, you have stricter defamation laws.
Yeah, we don't take people to court as well. Personally, it's just not something that a lot of Australians do.
Yeah, there's it's also that's another thing about this. This is a different culture in America, as well.
Yeah, it's always been like that. And Australians have always seen it like that. It's just like, really, you go and sue people over this shit? Like what? I mean, and that's where I think I would be like, okay, well, the defamation, yeah, whatever. Is he a public figure? Well, that's the other thing to argue. But it's really, to me, it was always about malice and the tortious interference sort of thing. Are they trying to get him fired from jobs because of allegations?
Yeah, well,
and, there's the investigation. There's all of that sort of stuff. I think that's more important.
Yeah, I could go on about the other stuff. I could go on for a long time about this case because I've been looking at it very closely.
Well, I don't really need to. Like, as I said, I'm not like a massive follower of the Vic Mignogna stuff. And really, why I'm here is more, it's backstory for you, yeah, because that's something that you keep going on about. So that's why I sort of wanted to go down that rabbit hole. But it's more about the COG stuff and
well, I mean, like as like the only other thing I want to say about like the lore video, because like you go ahead and make the lore video if it's true, it's false, whatever. People will like either, I don't know. I'm used to people just like taking the least charitable interpretation when it comes to me anyway. So whatever.
No, I don't want to do, and see, I don't want to do that, and that's and I certainly don't want to do that in a lore video. Yeah. Keep
in mind, I have a way of getting under people's skin that sticks with them. So like years later, they'll still be mad at me, and they're not going to come with you with exactly the most truthful. They're not going to come up with you with the purest of intentions. A lot of these people are just doing this because, let me get revenge on John Kelly for this or that reason.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
it's up to them. That's their own agency. I mean, the video's been made. It's pretty much it's getting there already. So of course I'm gonna finish it off and get your perspective on the whole thing.
I mean,
it's the same thing I did with Yue. Like Yue got his talk. I mean, Yue's in the John Kelly video. I interviewed him last night, and he gave his whole perspective on what you said about him and what you've said about And
does he want me to wait?
Said about everything else.
Does he want me to apologize for calling him a pedophile? I mean, like, all I can say is like.
Well, do you even know about why people were saying why COG accused him of that?
I don't know what COG's angle was on that, but here's what I looked at from your video. When I saw your because I noticed that COG didn't call him a pedophile in that video. Maybe he did some other stuff. I don't know about that.
He did once on Twitter, and that was why he was spurging out in the last week. Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not apologizing for calling a guy that like talks sexually with a 17-year-old girl, like an underage minor. Like that's on a public live stream like that. I'm not gonna apologize for like calling him like a pedophile for that. Are you kidding me? Like, I mean, like.
Well, that's not what the interview is about either. It's such a small thing. Like people just keep getting stuck on that. No, it's more about like, and you'll see it in the lore video. Like the lore video isn't about that. It's one small section in part one. It's so small. It's just like, yeah, he talked creepy to some girls. Who gives a shit? It's like, was he wrong? Yeah.
Yeah, but to
Should
me,
he
that's
be
like the
punished
only.
forevermore for it? It's just like, dude, fuck off. Like, yeah, he made mistakes and was being dumb at the time. Fucking hell. Okay. Is he going to do it again? Fuck no. He wouldn't do it again. He would think about a conversation before he has one. It's just him being dumb. He's not. Is he being creepy or something? I don't even really know about that. It's just he's just
Well, the
making
thing is,
dumb fucking jokes to a minor, and he should really be thinking about it. And chat is telling him, "What are you doing, you dickhead?"
yeah, the thing is
And it
though,
just
like
looks horrible.
the thing is though, when it comes to pedophiles, like I don't really have kind of like I generally don't have mercy for them. Like,
He's
I-
not, but he's not a pedophile. He's not going around raping.
all right, let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that so that way it's like as like try to be a little bit unbiased here. When it comes to like weird child sex shit, that's like a line that goes, no, that's too far for me, man. So like a guy who's like gets caught with that, yeah, I'm gonna pick on him, and I'm probably not gonna stop picking on him like that. I mean, like, actually, no, I should rephrase that. I'm not gonna like go after UA like every day of my life, but I am just gonna refer, like, I'm not gonna lose sleep at night for calling the guy a pedophile. Like, if the guy's the, yeah, like if the guy like, if the guy is like, you know, go on, if I don't know, I don't know what else to say about that really. Like, I mean, the moment that the girl said, I mean, honestly, when you get down to it, the guy, like, I don't get why guys get that thirsty on the internet like that, and they don't realize that those things have repercussions. Like with COG, same, like it's a similar thing. Not that COG would ever go with the. I don't think that COG's ever gone. You know, ever thought that age is an arbitrary number. I don't think he's reached that level. But they got thirsty, and then they exchanged DMs like with a girl that. Like, in most of these cases, they're just never, ever going to meet them anyway. So why would you bother, like, you know, putting this on the internet where it stays up forever?
I know. It's so weird. Like, and that's the thing that, you know, that's the, like, I haven't really called Cog a cuck. I guess I've jumped on with the memes now because he pissed me off. But that's the thing. And that's what a lot of other people have been saying as well. It's like, dude, that's the part that's really wrong. Like, what the fuck is he doing? Why is he having relationships? And not just drama queen, but other relationships as well with people, with his minions, you know, with the people that watch his streams, and
It's
sending them dick pics and then talking about their children and intending to move in with them and all of this stuff. It's just there. Okay.
the problem
Very
is
weird.
like one thing that I've noticed in like these I guess it's kind of like I guess it's different communities that like kind of circle around. I don't know. It's kind of like this bull that kind of started rolling, maybe with Atheism Plus once that war started, and then just kind of ended up to where we are today. Probably it refers to a bunch of different communities. Like they tend to talk about drama, politics, and stuff like that. It's hard to define it, but with these kinds of communities or community, whichever way you want to put it, they tend to be filled with people. The most active people tend not to have lives outside of the internet, and that leads them into doing a lot of stupid, dumb shit. Like being too invested with people, but being too invested with their online friends, or thinking that their online friends can be boyfriends or girlfriends, etc. Shit like that. And it ends up biting them in the ass. So it's kind of like, I mean, it's unfortunate. I guess there would be some solution to I guess the real solution to that problem really for a lot of these people would just be do other things in the internet, like get friends in real life. If you can talk to people normally online, or relatively normally, evenly, or even half the baseline of what an average normal human is, because a lot of them are like exceptional, we'll say, then you could probably make friends in real life as well. There's not going to be an issue with that, and that will probably solve like a boatload of your problems. And if you can get enough friends, you could probably also find a significant other. So
Right.
I go on tangents a
I
lot.
don't know. I just think, yeah. Oh, well, overall, I just think that with streams about me, you've really sort of, you've just like, okay, well, all YouTubers are like this. You can't trust anyone, and then just jump to these massive conclusions. I think that it looks like from what I've seen, it just looks like you've done this. This is what you keep doing, and that's what you really should be looking at getting better with. Like, just turn around and say, "Well, I don't care about that." Well, then you're just going to be a week from now. You're going to do another stream on Nick Ricada, and you're going to get your 5 people sort of watching, and maybe a few trolls, and that's it. Like, because people are just not going to take you seriously.
Well,
If
that's
you're going to just be like, "Oh, here, what are they saying in these DMs?" Well, I'm just going to speculate because I don't know.
I mean, hey, I'm always up for room for improvement. Like, if I get something wrong and they can show it to me, yeah, I'll like say, oh, yeah, I fucked up with that. Like, I think on the stream that was taken down, I said that said that he was fine with COG's community burning. I don't know why I made that mistake, but I did, and it's clear. Like, even like if you read, like even in this text I showed that no, he's referring to Nick Ricada's community. So
yeah, that's what's so funny.
Yeah, so yeah,
It was so good.
like what am I gonna do?
Laughing my ass off.
What am I gonna do? Say I didn't make a mistake? No, it's retarded. Yeah, of course I made a fucking mistake there. So
Hef died as well, so like a day ago. So
I don't
you
blame
can
him for
see
laughing at that.
A
That's
lot of F's in chat for Hef.
Did-
A moment of silence for Hef.
is
You will
did
be
Hef
missed.
did Hef die and go to the same place, same resting place as what was that guy's name?
No, he got AIDS, I think. So.
Rest in peace, Hef, alongside oh damn it, who was this? What was that guy's name? Ah shit, I forget that guy's name. Like there was a board owner of like there was a meme being passed around that like the board owner of Baphomet, he got shot to death by the FBI.
Well, anyway, I mean, it's up to you, man. Like, most people don't want me on here giving you good advice because most people are here to watch you spurg and get a good laugh out of your bloody jump to conclusion stuff. I mean, that's why I was originally here, because I didn't think I was going to get on here.
I mean, like, if I speculate something and they don't, like, if I jump to a conclusion or speculate about something or whatever, whichever. Okay, like, let me put it this way. If I get something, if I go on stream and say that something's wrong, so what? And people laugh at it, okay, John Kelly got something wrong, let the world laugh at it.
That's what you want to be, man. Like, people have been trying to work out if you're really that silly or if you're just laughing the whole time. And
okay,
like,
here's
no,
the thing.
I think
Here's the
you're
thing.
generally that silly.
Here's the thing. If you go back to some of my earlier streams, I haven't said this enough just to make this clear. So I'll make this clear to all the people that have an issue or find it funny that I get this or that wrong. You could always just leave a comment or reply and tell me, hey, you got this wrong, reply, and I'll update the information so long as it's something that's factual. Like, if it's a matter of opinion, then it's just like, okay, that's not the same thing.
That's what I did.
Yeah, so
And that's what you've been showing on the last 2 streams as my answers and telling everybody about how I'm a big op. I mean, it's in the title of your video too.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
just pointing this out.
Well, the issue with like the thing is though, I don't really like. I'm not convinced that this wasn't an opposite thing. Like, I mean, maybe I'll change the title of the video to like, I don't know.
Oh, come on. Yeah, well, tell us. Like, why do you think it's an op? Like,
I mean, there's just too many weird things around it. Like, I mean, if it's like I'm probably not going to do another stream on this. I've already done, like, I can't, like, unless I find more information that shows something else about it or some aspect of it, I probably won't do another stream on this. I might bring it up again in the future, but it's okay, so two of the 3 guys that were planning this video, they have done op shit before. The other thing is, there was like a
Wait, what? Oh, no. Let's break that down. So,
okay.
So Hef has done op stuff. Well, like, I don't know. He probably has, but
yeah.
And Stretch, like, what's Stretch been doing?
Isn't like Stretch is part of the Plate Gang, isn't he?
No,
he's not.
But he'd be finding that very funny right now. No. He's my co-host on Collectibles stream.
So he doesn't. He doesn't work with the Plate.
Happy Hour.
Does he work with the Plate Gang on any kind of projects or operations and stuff like that?
No, we got nothing to fucking do with him, dude. We just talk to Hef. Like, Hef, and Hef goes on Cog's show all the time, so you can't just then say, well, Cog's now part of the Plate Gang because we chat and laugh at Hef. And Hef only comes to the 2 of us because we laugh at funny stuff, and he just wants a good laugh, and that's why he usually comes around. He also likes to pull threads like I do and break down stuff, and that's why there's the 2 of us talking about the whole UA and character really assessing his character and the whole drama in part 4 of the lore videos. He really wanted to do that. I thought it was interesting, so that's why that video is there. Otherwise he's just laughing at funny shit. Like, that's the interaction there, man. There's nothing else. But yeah, it's just like, and they didn't plan the video. They didn't have any, like, yeah, that word planning the video with me. No one plans a video with me. I just go and make a video.
What did
and
you
then
mean?
I show it to them, and then they would like give me corrections. I mean, with the plan, it was like our plan at the time of what we were going to do, where Stretch was like, okay, well, I didn't even know, but he was going to put all the information out on the happy hour stream once talking to Cog once he got back on Tuesday. And I just said, well, I'm going to put out this video and try and get the facts right. And Hef was like, I'm just going to laugh at shit because it's funny. And that was our sort of planning, I guess. But then it all fell through anyway. And the three of us ended up on FTW the very next day or something.
Oh, wait, something
2 days later.
Something weird that you said in the chat, like afterwards. Like, I asked you about like why you didn't go to COG at first, and you're like, oh well, if that were to happen, it would be like what was it?
Oh, because it would throw Stretch under the bus. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me, because like the video is going to be released anyway, so it's kind of like, what? Like, I'm confused here. I mean, it'll be one thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Because, I can explain. I know what you're going to say, so I can explain it. So it stretches DMs between Drama Queen, and it stretches DMs between Cog, or information and stuff that he knew about Cog from talking to Cog and VCs. So Stretch is the one that's released all this. A lot of that information comes from Stretch, and Cog, the way he is, like he was with the Bitwave thing. If we went to Cog in private, if I went to Cog in private and said, "Hey, I found all this information out," well, who did you find it out from? Well, I found it out from Stretch. He's just the way that Cog is. There's that very high potential. He's going to get quite aggressive about it, pull Stretch into a VC and just start going off about it, and then really trying to downplay it. And you can understand why, because Cog wouldn't want that information out, because he doesn't want this sort of bullshit. Because then he'll go on Twitter and spurg off about it.
Yeah,
so for me to go to, because Stretch said, I will go to Cog. It's my info, so I will go to Cog. And I said, that's fine. I'm not going to then go behind Stretch's back and go to Cog myself, because it's sort of like throwing him under the bus. And I have more respect for Stretch and him being my internet friend than I do with making sure the Cog gets a say about some information that I'm going to put into a video. And at the end of the day, the plan fell through. The plan was to go to Cog. Stretch was the one that was going to do it because it was his information. He said that to me, so I said, fine. Stretch wants to be the one to go do it. Go for it, because that's fine. Sure enough, that's the best way to go about it, is for Stretch to go to Cog. But then Hef is going to put some information out on FTW, and Normie found it, was critiquing the video and then wanted to play it, and Hef's like, just rip the Band-Aid off. Stretch is in the VC, all pissed off with me. So because he didn't know what that was happening. I didn't even know it was happening. I wasn't planning to go on the FTW stream. It all just sort of happened. Yeah, Normie has shown all his DMs between myself and him and what happened there. It's all covered on the FTW show. Yes, we had plans to do something, and then that's not what happened. Did Cog come on the FTW show and confirm everything anyway? Yeah, he did. So does Cog actually have a chance to dispute and make claims about what I said in that video? Yeah, he's in the fucking video. He makes half of that video because he's confirming all the points that are brought up. So, it's just this little nitpicky thing that everybody's going to go on about and question my intentions. Well, that's fine. Whatever. It's sort of, we did. It's not like we wrote out some plan and we all stuck to it. It's not, everybody's got their own agency, everyone's got their own things that they're going to do. Okay. Stretch plan to release all the information out on happy hour. and I was planning to do the video, and Hef was just planning to dump panty pics in not safe for work Discord files and laugh when people saw them and say, "Hey, wait a minute, who is this?" You know what I mean? It's sort of like they didn't have much to do with my video except for the fact that they got to see it a version of it unlisted before it went public because I wanted their input and I wanted to make sure I got it right. Fuck, that sort of information. It's not the type of thing that I would get on a stream and start showing and then just start making all these speculations and jumping to conclusions and saying all this stuff. It's not something you want to go and do because if you go and do that with that sort of information, you're going to fucking cop so much flack for that. And for all the little things that did go wrong with that, I have copped so much flack and people have questioned my intentions. It's exactly what happens.
Well,
Have people criticized me for not going back and putting Stretch's name, uncovering his name from all of the screenshots that I show in the video? Yes. Have people criticized me for not saying Chetnik's name and showing the panty pics that Chetnik gave us in private? Yeah. And have people criticized us for not going to COG when we were planning to? Yeah. But that's the way it went. And there's not much we could have done about it. It happened the way it happened.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
But I think
And
I think at this point we're covering like the same points over and over again.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, and all I will say is that people have questioned my intentions before, and it really got to me and that was really to do with the UA thing. But then it's not like hundreds of people were talking about this on Twitter. You sort of get over it. And as far as what Cog has said, well, fuck what he thinks at this point. And it's same with your speculations and stuff. It was hilarious. Like it was so much fun.
I don't know. I mean, like I have my disagreements with some of the things you're saying. Other things like it's a reason for me to like, okay, I'll look into this and that. I'll keep looking into this, keep an eye on like this.
Well, come to me, man. I'll give you like no one else has heard it. I haven't even listened back to it, but I've got audio where there's Hef, Stretch, and myself chatting. I'm sure I'll just ask Stretch to make sure he's all cool with it. I'll quickly check it, and you can have it if you want.
Sure.
You'll be the first one to play it, where it's us chatting before the video is even made. It's about me talking about the video being made and stuff.
Okay, you can feel free to send that my way.
Yeah, man. I'll see what I can do. It might take me a day or two just to check it and all that, because it's I'm pretty busy at the moment, so
all right,
it's just one of those things.
Well, I think that wraps it up for tonight, though, for the stream, though.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. It was good. It was actually good talking to you. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I hope that. Well, I hope two things. I hope either you keep doing what you're doing because it's absolutely hilarious and people have been really enjoying it, or listen to my advice. It's up to you, which is the people have been saying the same thing to you since 2016. Maybe just have a think about it.
Yeah, like again, like I mean, that goes back into like I mean, I'll just say something real quick about that. Like, again, the people back in 2016 never even bothered to read the actual sources that I linked there. So it's kind of like,
right, well,
it's kind of like,
yeah, and we're going off the tangent again. Okay, but then listen to
it's kind of like
people from Nickercator's Discord. There's what I've been saying to you.
Again, like if
you can question their intentions, you can question.
It's not a matter of their intentions; it's a matter of like I show things that are factually true, and then they still dispute it regardless, and then there's a problem there. Like,
I just think, well, as far as about the streams that you've done on me, especially that first stream, there's just so much speculation and jumping to conclusions, and it's just clearly, obviously not true to so many people and that's why they're here laughing. So,
hey, I thought it was clear I was being speculative. If they took it another way, I'll be more clear in the future.
It's not the wording you use, dude. But anyway, I'm breaking down the streams as part of the lore video. Watch it and tell me what you think. I'll be putting your answers in as much as possible. It'll probably take me a weekend now because it's just
I don't know if I'm going to be watching the video, but I mean,
whatever then.
I don't think I will be. But anyway, you have a good night, and
Yep.
I'm gonna sign you off. And all right, that was something. May have cleared up some stuff, may have not. Got a few leads that I need to look into. I don't know if I'll do another stream on this. It might not be relevant. I did want to point out some things about like the drama community in general, but and also about this particular issue. I think I covered up all my initial thoughts on this, and all the and everything that I wanted to talk about with this. And again, it's kind of like I don't know how much longer I will be doing these streams exactly, because like when you get down to it, thinking it over about like the Nicrocata stuff, I'm absolutely doing no matter what, so that's still being talked about. But when it comes down to like this other shit with like this is about like what these people that are like holdovers from blood sports, people are holdovers from the skeptic community and the Gamergate side of things, and about a bunch of other shit. I just don't know if there's any real purpose in like trying to tell these people that this shit is gay. That I don't know how else I can possibly tell them that like a bunch of people that they're like looking up to as idols essentially are just a bunch of are just a bunch of degenerates, hypocrites, and liars. A great bunch of them. So when you get down to it, it's like, is it even worth the effort of going through if you're not even going to bother to like convince people to think that's not even like if you're not even going to lead people to like the right conclusion of things. But the Nicrocata situation, I'm going to enjoy watching that dumpster fire burn, and I will still keep making those streams so long as that Vic Mignogna case is still relevant. But other than that, you all have a good night. I hope you found this stream entertaining. And I'll just repeat, if I got anything wrong, just put it in the comments section and point it out. And if it's true, yeah, I'll fix it. But other than that, you guys have a good night. And peace out.